Blog Talk Radio.
Appeared before the Congressional Committee to tell what I knew of activities which might lead to an attempt to set up a fascist dictatorship.
The potential for the disastrous rise of misplaced power exists and will persist.
The very word secrecy is repugnant in a free and open society. And we are, as a people, inherently and historically opposed to secret societies, to secret oaths, and to secret proceedings.
President Bush signed a formal agreement that will end the United States as we know it, and he took the step without approval from either the U.S. Congress or the people of the United States.
The secret organizations of the world power elite are no longer secret.
It's known as the Bilderberg Group. Could their objective be world domination?
I'm Jim Tucker. I've chased Bilderberg for 30 years. I'll never give up the chase. Bilderberg's plan for the whole world is nothing less than world government.
I'm not comfortable with that at all. Who elected these guys to run the planet?
They are the elitists. They feel they should run the world for their own selfish interests.
Now we can see a new world coming into view. A world in which there is the very real prospect of a new world order.
Bilderberg is making great progress toward a world government, and only an educated, informed public can stop them in their tracks.
David Rockefeller admits in his own memoirs that he wants to destroy the United States. He's a traitor!
It's good to be back at the Council on Foreign Relations. As Pete mentioned, I've been a member for a long time and was actually a director for some period of time. I never mentioned that when I was campaigning for re-election back home in Wyoming.
Let us never tolerate outrageous conspiracy theories.
I need you to move off the property, please.
Some shots were fired.
There's Bilderbergers right there.
The Trans-Texas Corridor is a vital part because we stop it here in Texas. We stop the New World Order right here in Texas.
This thing started here. And to save this country, we kill this damn thing here.
A chance for the President of the United States to carry out a phrase his father used, and that is a New World Order.
Your New World Order will fall. Humanity will defeat you. The answer to 1984 is 1776.
Stop to ponder the fundamental question: is the current state of American governance serving its people the way it was originally intended? In the heart of this question lies an intriguing journey, a journey of the Restored Republic interim government. The Restored Republic is not a new political party. It's not a protest. It's not an attempt to overthrow the government. Rather, it's a lawful, peaceful mechanism that the American people can use to occupy vacated government seats. It's a journey back to constitutional governance, a journey that started in 2010. The interim government of the Restored Republic was established with a singular vision: to reclaim the American Republic. The mission is not to reinvent the wheel, but to transition back to the principles outlined in the Constitution, principles that have been diluted over time. It's about a return to the essence of democratic republic, where the people hold the power, not a select few. How does the restored republic plan to achieve this? Through the power of the Northwest Ordinance. This ordinance is a legal tool that allows the citizens of the United States of America to restore their government to its original state. The focus is on the states, with a goal for each state to rally 30,000 supporters for lawful elections. However, the success of this endeavor is not solely dependent on the interim government. The role of the American people in this transition period is pivotal. This is not a passive movement. It requires active participation, engagement, and dedication from every American who believes in liberty and justice for all. The Restored Republic interim government is fully aware of the challenges that lie ahead. They understand the hurdles that come with change, yet they remain steadfast in their mission, fueled by the belief that a government should serve its people, not the other way around. The journey of the Restored Republic is a testament to the power of the people. It's a journey towards a government that respects the rule of law, values the voice of its citizens, and upholds the principles of the Constitution. The interim government of the Restored Republic is more than just an interim governing body. It's a beacon of hope for those who have lost confidence in the current government. It's a call to action for the American people to reclaim their republic. In summary, the Restored Republic interim government is a lawful mechanism to occupy vacated government seats with a mission to transition back to constitutional governance. The Northwest Ordinance serves as the legal tool for this transition. The goal is for each state to rally 30,000 supporters for lawful elections. The role of the American people is crucial in this transition period. The journey of the Restored Republic is a journey back to the essence of a representative republic. It's a journey of change, of hope, and of reclaiming the American republic. The call to action is clear for every American who believes in liberty and justice for all. This is your moment to step up, to participate, and to make a difference. Your republic needs you, now more than ever.
All right, there you have it. Restoring our republic. Let me check the call boards here real quick here. Okay, we got somebody with their hand up already before I start talking. Do what they got to say. They've already been waiting a while, so let me bring them on. Go ahead there, 314.
What do you say, Joe Gibson? How's everything? Can you hear me? I'm had to get back to washing dishes.
314.
Yeah, you hear me?
Yeah, go ahead.
No, I was just saying hello, checking in.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, you heard that about the Republic there. I think we had some questions about you and I there. I think we agree on mostly everything except religion. I think we're the opposite on. But I think most of the part when it comes to states' rights and local government and what we could do to clean up the corruption, I think we pretty much agree on. Wouldn't you say so? I don't know. Now he's lost him. All right. I think I lost him. Okay. Well, he was there.
Yeah, I'm here.
All right. Well,
I'm having a second.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we do.
Oh, okay.
We agree on when it comes down to the country. Yes, we have probably 98% of the agreement in the same view. But the way that you get there, it can't be no one way to get there because there's too many factions out there today. You know, I put a lot of emphasis on education. Matter of fact, I'm going to convey that over to the three people tomorrow that formed the new city down here in Louisiana. Got a meeting that I'm going to attend, $25 plate lunch, but we can just tell them that what's need to be taught is because many of the people that we run into on the petition for Article 5, they don't know nothing about it. So these things should be taught in elementary school at an early age. Then when time comes, like at your position, you're talking about things, people don't know the hell what you're talking about. And you can't take out the time to teach and educate no 1,000 people. Hell, you ain't got that much life left.
Yeah, you're right. You're correct, but we're at that point now. Do you think that we could take the time now to start with our youth? I mean, yeah, we should start there, but do we have the time to wait till they grow up and become in their mid-20s and mid-30s before the country
don't
gets
have
saved?
Time for that.
Yeah, I agree.
You know, an uneducated populace, especially youth, is costing us so much money. They've been misled and participating in these riots and these protests, which don't have any substance whatsoever other than emotion. That costs us money. These riots is costing us increase in insurance costs for not only your vehicles, increase in food costs, everything.
You're absolutely correct. And, and you're right, when people don't know, like, for instance, I opened up tonight with the Republic, the message of the Republic and what the Republic stands for, and the Northwest Ordinance. It's a legal tool to re-implement constitutional governance, because right now they're not operating under the Constitution, even though they're supposed to be. They're just not operating constitutionally. You can see that with your representatives in Congress and the Senate and the President. They're not operating constitutionally. There's no way. We just saw the judicial system operate totally unconstitutionally with Donald Trump. So how can we say we're obeying the Constitution?
And hell, on a smaller scale, they act unconstitutionally against you when you was running. You know, it's funny thing you talk about the Northwest Ordinance. You know, the first time I heard that, and we read over it, I think I was probably in the 6th grade. I remember it very, very well.
Really?
But they don't
That's
teach that
interesting.
today.
Wow. Yeah, you're right. They don't. What do you remember? What you got out of it, or by chance, or is it too long ago?
That was too long ago, Joe. Good God. I remember it was. Look, we had to memorize Patrick Henry's speech and all those things back in there. We had to recite them. Stand up in front of the class and recite them.
Yeah. Let me bring on this private caller here. This might be Sarge. Let me see. Go ahead, the private caller. Let's see who it is.
Hey, Joe, you know what I remember about the Northwest Ordinance of 1877 that really struck me when my history teacher explained it to me? It was an anti-slavery provision. It forbade the expansion of slavery into the Northwest Territories. That's what I remember most about it when I first learned about it in school.
And that's why I always tell us now, under the 14th Amendment, they enslaved us all. They've enslaved us all. So therefore, what do we got to do? We got to anti-slavery. We're slaves. And I don't want to get into a big discussion in depth in here about the 14th Amendment, but yeah, I mean, we're all slaves because we're not operating under the Constitution is still there, and it is null and void, everything that has happened, like Bianchi always says. But the problem is, good luck trying to enforce it. We got to get the tools to enforce it, and the people behind us.
Well, again, I think we all agree that much of the things we are speaking of are legislative matters, particularly with this regard as what you term restoring the organic constitution with the vehicle and the model provided by the Northwest Ordinance of 1787. And that's going to require legislation, and who's got to pass legislation? Legislators.
Yeah. No, I agree.
So you got to get them elected, man. You got to get them elected.
Yeah. Well, supposedly now the deep state is all going to be arrested. Supposedly, right after the election. Supposedly. So I'm going to cover that. That's Steve Bannon. I'm going to cover that here real quick. But first I want to address
on what basis this is going to occur.
Yeah.
Is this going to be an ad hoc arrest? Are there going to be indictments issued? Are there going to be warrants sent out? Who's going to send them out? Who's going to keep that secret for so long? How's that going to work?
Exactly. If they're already leaking it out now, for that matter, So that's very interesting. But they're right now.
But I'd like to hear it, though. I mean, if
we're gonna play it next.
Something to it, I'd like to hear it.
Yeah. But first, I just want to touch base on something real quick. I also want to address tonight. We don't do it now, but there's 691,000 Iranians in this country right now. Half of them live in California. So we already know what California is, right?
Right.
So we know what they bring to the table. I believe that they are a plant in this country. Their goal is to do with their regime change and to get us in a fight and conflict over there against Israel or against other countries over there, and Iran is a melting pot worse than Iraq. We don't need to send our boys and women over there at all to fight on that soil. That is a terrible, terrible melting pot. Iran, the people over there, they've been fighting with each other themselves for years and years and years, just like Afghanistan. And really, what advancement would we have to get? What resources could we gain from them anyway, other than oil, which we could get from Iraq or we can get from our own country? So they have nothing there, nothing. No type of strategic value whatsoever, because we already have Israel as an ally. So why would we need Iran? And besides, we would never be allies with Iran anyway, because the people over there hate us. They hate us. Yes, to America they can't. Burning American flags. So, so whatever the Iranians that call into other shows that claim something, that's totally false, that narrative that they say. We know they hate us. They hate us over there. And that's fine. Because I have no intention of ever going to Iran anyway, and I don't think our troops should go over there. And if I ever get elected to office, I'll make sure I vote against it. So, but anyway, let's get to this deep state here. This is the latest now. This is the latest, so we'll get this going.
You pointed out for years, they know exactly what laws they've broken. They know exactly what they did to kill the MAGA movement. They know exactly what they did.
And explain, it's literally a conspiracy. It is a coup. It is treason in the law. Explain that, Steve. And then the word is they're going to lock Trump up. They're going to lock Trump up.
McCabe knows exactly the coup when Trump won in 2016. This was the whole Russiagate, the Russia hoax. They know exactly what they did, and they understand when we take back over the Justice Department, the FBI, we'll have all the records. They understand the crimes. He understands how many years in prison he will have. That's why, and the people around him that signed the letter about the laptop from hell, they've all known all along that they're breaking the law. They all know they're criminals. They all know that they've been involved in a coup to get the illegitimate Biden regime and to steal the vote in 2020. Don't look at me. Go back and look at the CNN clip where he's sitting there and the fear in his eyes and the hurt in his eyes, and Colin's asking specifically about himself. He goes, yes. And what they're talking about is leaving the country. And all I said, brother, you can leave you can go anywhere you want. We have extradition treaties everywhere. You can go anywhere you want. The long arm of American justice is going to get you, collect you, and fetch you back here. You're going to be held accountable. All of these guys, Comey, McCabe, Brennan, Clapper, all of them are being held accountable for what they've done, the treason that they've had against this country, and they understand. Why do you think they're worried? If they didn't do anything wrong, why would they possibly be worried? They understand their criminality, they understand their treason, and they also understand, Alex, they're not going to put you out of business. They're going to try. They're not going to prison. Sorry, I go to prison. Okay? The war room posse will step up like I know they're going to step up. The show will be bigger than ever. So they can't defeat us. They can't defeat Trump. They've tried. They've failed. We're coming back bigger than ever. And guess what? 5 November is Judgment Day, but January 2025 is Accountability Day. And they understand they got a lot to be accountable for.
While other networks lie to you about what's happening now, InfoWars tells you the truth about what's happening next.
They're trying to shut us down without even a court order. Total hysteria. Total cuckoo land. They denied it 8 days ago. Then they admitted it this week. Yeah, we want you off the air, or last week. It's a sign for everybody, folks. They're coming for everybody. But Steve Bannon has a message for AOC and former FBI director and others that say, oh, they're going to lock us all up. Oh, they're the tyrants. Well, we have to lock you up with the Constitutional Bill of Rights and the law because you tried to kill America. So I just beg Steve to come on. He joins us via the phone just to recap and repeat everything he's been saying that's been mega viral because it's so on target. And he's like Travis at the Alamo, victory or death. He's not backing down. He just said to me on the phone during that 1 minute break things I hope he repeats because it's bigger than Steve Bannon, Alex Jones, and Donald Trump because Trump's right. They're not coming after Donald Trump. They want to get through us to get to you. But the sign they're doing this is not strength, folks. It's weakness. Now it's 500 million raised in 10 days. It'll be $1 billion in a couple of weeks. The revolution, huge European victories, constitutionalists, populist Christians, nationalists, right-wingers, sweeping everywhere. The New World Order is on its way out, but they're trying to claw us back with them. So we only got 15 minutes of Steve Bannon. You've got the floor, sir. Let him have it.
But, Alex, we talked about this for years. We said this is a war to the knife, and this is just not about winning in November. They're trying to take out Trump and the people around Trump, that next level, and everything, whether it's O'Keefe, Jim Hoff, Rudy Giuliani, Alex Jones, they're used in different ways, either liquidation of companies, putting people in, taking their law licenses away, putting them in bankruptcy. I'm going to go to federal prison for a misdemeanor. You know, Navarro's down in a federal prison. I think he said that in 50 or 60 years, they don't think they've ever had a guy in there for a misdemeanor. Peter Navarro's in prison, a federal prison, for 3 months on a misdemeanor. I'll go, you know, for 4 months on July 1st, unless, you know, one of my appeals has a stay to it. I'll go on a misdemeanor. And the reason is they're maniacal. They're lathered up. Jack Smith's whole team was there just to watch and report back to Merrick Garland at my court case when I had my when I went for the judge on Thursday.
So they're salivating. Remember, Owen Schroyer, my co-host, got thrown in prison. I mean, they are salivating.
Engelbert got thrown in prison. They want you in prison because that's kind of that Marxist Leninist, what they think can stop people. And this is what I say. With Alex Jones and Steve Bannon and President Trump, everybody, it's next man up. This is why this movement, everybody in this audience, you have to step up to the plate. You have to be Spartacus. You got to step up to the plate. You cannot, if you believe in this country, if you believe that we can still bequeath a constitutional republic to our children and grandchildren, it's upon your shoulders. It's not upon Trump's, but Alex Jones, for John Eastman's, or Rudy Giuliani, or Steve Bannon. They're trying to take us out. Now, obviously, we're fighting back. We're not going to be taken out, but that's what they think they do. You know why? Because they think they have no respect for this audience. They have no respect for the people in this country. They think they can cow you with modern technology. They think that the American people have gotten soft and passive. They're not the fighters of the Revolution or the Civil War or World War II. Well, I think they're dead wrong, and I think you're seeing it, and that's why they're panicking. You see it in Europe over the weekend. I mean, Macron's government, Macron, for all the media he gets, got 15% of the vote. That's why he had to dissolve Parliament. And this is what he was going around. That's why he invited Biden for the 3 days. They knew the timing of this, not just coming for Normandy, but then he went around with Biden for a couple of days of national TV, state dinners, all of it, and it got blown out because Biden is the cooler. Even people in France know that because this is all about this mass, invasion of the West, starting in Europe and also the United States. So the issues are on our side. We know the vote's going to be a blowout, but it's deeper than that. And the deep state is just not going to sit there and give you your country back. This was shown on CNN. That's why I played this thing on McCabe. McCabe was the number 2 guy under Comey, and he's one of the most evil people. He's kind of one of the chief operating guys of the deep state over at the FBI. And he's sitting there, he's just literally whining. He's saying, yes, many people in the intelligence community, law enforcement community, are having torturous conversations with their families about leaving the country immediately upon President Trump winning in November. And even Caitlin Collins, she's got that mask on. She kind of grunts. She goes, huh, what? And she goes, you're not even talking about yourself. And he goes, yes, I'm very worried. And he's almost like whining and crying. Here's why. Alex, you pointed it out for years. They know exactly what laws they've broken. They know exactly what they did to kill the MAGA movement. They know exactly what they did.
And explain, it's literally a conspiracy. It is a coup. It is treason in the law. Explain that, Steve. And then the word is they're going to lock Trump up. They're going to lock Trump up.
McCabe knows exactly the coup when Trump won in 2016. This is the whole Russiagate, the Russia hoax. They know exactly what they did, and they understand when we take back over the Justice Department, the FBI, we'll have all the records. They understand the crimes. He understands how many years in prison he will have. That's why, and the people around him that signed the letter about the laptop from hell, they've all known all along that they're breaking the law. They all know they're criminals. They all know that they've been involved in a coup to get the illegitimate Biden regime in to steal the vote in 2020. Don't look at me. Go back and look at the CNN clip where he's sitting there in the fear in his eyes and the hurt in his eyes, and Colin's asking specifically about himself. He goes, yes. And what they're talking about is leaving the country. And all I said, brother, you can leave you can go anywhere you want. We have extradition treaties everywhere. You can go anywhere you want. The long arm of American justice is going to get you, collect you, and fetch you back here. You're going to be held accountable. All of these guys, Comey, McCabe, Brennan, Clapper, all of them are being held accountable for what they've done, the treason that they've had against this country, and they understand. Why do you think they're worried? If they didn't do anything wrong, why would they possibly be worried? They understand their criminality, they understand their treason, and they also understand, Alex, they're not going to put you out of business. They're going to try. They're not going to prison. Sorry, I go to prison. Okay? The war room posse will step up like I know they're going to step up. The show will be bigger than ever. So they can't defeat us. They can't defeat Trump. They've tried. They've failed. We're coming back bigger than ever. And guess what? 5 November is Judgment Day, but January 2025 is Accountability Day. And they understand they got a lot to be accountable for.
Well, that's right. I only have a few minutes left, but everything you're saying is completely dead on. There's a global realignment, not just here for populism and back to common sense Christianity and nationalism and free market capitalism. But the reason they're so desperate to get you off the board, to get me off the board, and a bunch of others is they're planning something big. So let's war game that briefly. What are they getting ready to pull? Some false flag racial attacks, George Floyd 2.0, a market crash, God forbid, a Trump assassination?
All of it. You should be, you should be prepared. I say the lawfare, the steal, and then wag the dog. Those are the three big headings. But listen, they understand they can't turn over this government to Trump and MAGA. They can't do it because they will spend decades in prison, or they will leave the country and hide out in some third world nation.
Which they're now saying. Let me interrupt. They're literally saying that the former director of the FBI, we're getting ready to leave the country, and he looks completely scared because he knows the crimes they committed, Crossfire Hurricane, all of it, completely illegal, all proven fraud.
100%. It's his eyes. Look at his eyes. Look at the fear. You can smell the fear coming through the TV. Caitlin Collins could. She was shocked giving the interview. And here's the point. Folks got to be prepared. They're going to pull out everything. They're going to try everything in the world to somehow make sure we even don't have a vote on 5 November. If there is a vote, how to steal it between 5 November and the 20th of January with Mark Elias and Jamie Raskin. Jamie Raskin was already saying, hey, if they win the House by 1 seat, they're not going to certify Trump's election on the 6th. They're saying the Supreme Court let Trump be on the ballot 9-0, but it says that doesn't mean the House has to certify him because he's an insurrectionist according to their report, and that's why it's so important for Johnson to overthrow, throw away the January 6th thing. People should understand every day from now, just now for the next couple of years, is going to be a dogfight, and that's why more than ever people have to step up to the plate. It's upon this audience to deliver this republic back to its original constitutional basis and freedom and liberty. It's not Trump, Tucker Carlson, Alex Jones, or Steve Bannon. It's this audience.
In closing, Steve, you're absolutely right. As you know, the Democrats introduced legislation. Senator Blumenthal, that coordinates attacks on me on record, introduced legislation, which is a public coup with 147 days left, to pull the power of the Insurrection Act that George Herbert Walker Bush used in the LA riots from Trump, because they said there'll be rightful, mostly peaceful riots all across America. When he wins in November, there's 79 days to the inauguration. They're planning to throw everything at us during that period. What can we do to get ready for it? What should people who you're saying step up, who want to step up, what should they do?
Number one, there should be a force multiplier for all the information in these shows. Push it out. Be talking to your next door neighbors. And get ready. Get prepared. Get prepared. Look at what happened. Look at the riot on Saturday. Mainstream media don't want to talk about one of the most disgraceful things I've ever seen in Washington, D.C. In Lafayette Park, right across the statue of General
Secret Service running in fear of literally anti-American goons.
They're scary thugs. I mean, these people, this is one of the most dangerous things I've seen right there at the White House. And the authorities ran because they were outnumbered. And they're also told not to take direct action. So, folks, you think that riot that happened on Saturday to the 10th power is what's going to happen around the White House when President Trump takes his hand off the King James Bible on the 20th of January, 2025. People just got to get ready.
Steve, I totally agree. In closing, and spend some time on this because you're tough. I'm tough as well. We're committed, so we understand where we are. But we also don't talk enough about us. It's great that Trump's raised $500 million in 8-9 days. More. But it's important to support you. You've been through hell. It's important to support InfoWars because the enemy sees us as key support ships around the mothership. It's Trump. We need to also remind people we need prayer. We need everybody to take your show, my show, what we're doing scares the enemy, so magnify it, even when they still put you in prison.
Everybody should pray for our enemies, and let's have the righteous indignation of the American people stand up. At War Room, just support our sponsors. We got great sponsors that are all with us. All the sponsors have doubled down now. We just tell people, go support our sponsors. I don't have a legal fund. I pay everything myself. I'm just saying right now it's most important that the American people rise up in their righteous indignation and not let the guys like McCabe and Comey steal this. And they're going to try. But you see McCabe, you see AOC says she's going to be swept up. McCabe sitting there wetting. He wet himself on national TV. You can smell the fear. You know what that means? That means this audience is winning. And, Alex, what they're trying to do you use outrageous. But you're a pretty tough hombre, and we know you're going to get through this. Your voice, they cannot silence Alex Jones. First Amendment, whatever they do, the tragedy thing, Alex Jones is a pretty tough hombre, and his word's going to get through. His vast, powerful audience will always be there.
Well, that was my final point. It'll take me a little bit to reconstitute, come back even stronger. We're getting ready for that. But take all the things Steve Bannon said a year ago, a month ago, 2 days ago. Take all the things I've said. They're evergreen. The stuff we said 10 years ago is better today. So it's up to them. God forbid they killed us. We are still on record with what we've said. That's really strong. People need to understand the biggest thing is take our message that the enemy fears and magnify it. The people have the power. Everybody should go to warroom.org and follow your show.
Right there. That's it right there. They are, and that is the truth. They are coming after everybody. They want to put everybody in jail. Look, they want to put me in jail. They want to put me in jail. I still got case pending. They want to lock me up. What Bianchi, you said it earlier. What they did to me, they tried to get me off the ballot. They lost, and then they rigged the election. So they're doing it at the lower level too. So next man has to stand up. We got to stand up. Continue to stand. They knocked me out of the box. Okay, somebody else now. Come on. That's what we got to do. We've got to stick together, magnify our voices to restore our republic, our constitutional governance, and restore and have a righteous army out there of people that can communicate, network together, and talk about things that matter, and make points that matter, and bring things of action and be active and participate in activism. Bianchi, you said you're speaking tomorrow at a lunch or whatever to people, or you're going to be there participating. That's good. That's what we need. Everybody should have a story like that every single week where they've done something in the community to interact and have some type of sort of activism. Sarge, what do you think?
Well, another thing too. Is Sarge still on there? Was Sarge on there?
I think so.
Oh yeah, I'm still here. Go ahead, Bianchi. I'll go after you.
Sarge, you remember the actor Richard Boone?
Yes, sir. Have gun, will travel.
That's the word you need to have, Joe Gibson. These people these crooks that's talking about leaving the country, you should tell them, have gun, will travel.
Yeah.
Hey, you know what, Joe? You know what? I like that Steve Bannon was talking about, because I talked to you about this a couple of weeks ago. No matter how many popular votes Trump gets, it's up to Congress to certify the electoral vote. I believe the Democrats are planning some manner to not certify sufficient amount of electoral votes to allow Donald Trump to assume the presidency. That means that he will not have qualified by the safe harbor date that requires the electoral votes to be certified. And they will then invoke the 20th Amendment to vote in their own president.
Yep, I think you're right, sir.
Unless you get a certified amount of, unless you get a certified amount of electoral votes, that means you have not qualified to be president, and that means the 20th Amendment can be invoked, and Congress can decide who becomes the president.
Yep, yeah, because they're scared. They're scared. Yeah, they're scared. I've seen it on Twitter, them talking about it. If we get, look at even these liberal libtards out there, these moonbats. Oh, if they get elected, Trump will be a tyrannical. He's going to be a tyrant. He'll never give up the presidency. He's going to be a king. Is that what you want? You want
That's right.
You want to kick your Constitution goodbye? Well, people are trying to reverse it. They're trying to use our talking points against us.
That's exactly what they're saying, man. And you know what? And these rat bastard politicians, these Democrats, are going to use that as their a vehicle to which to deny the electoral count. I'm telling you, I am certain. Look what they tried to do with the 14th Amendment crap, man. Now, since when did the Supreme Court ever rule on anything 9-0? They knew it wasn't going to work, but they wanted to throw it out there as a trial balloon.
Here's the thing, y'all.
Yeah.
See, the thing is conservatives don't holler and talk back and send out messages. If there wasn't a Donald Trump, we still coming at you. That's the message that should be taught. I mean, he ain't the Holy Grail. He's not the Holy Grail.
That was my point, Sarge. Bianchi, that was my point when I was arguing with you guys a couple of weeks ago, with the Trump dilemma. I was like, okay, yeah, I agree with you, but he's not everything. Yes, we do need him. Of course, I want him to be president. But in the background, we got to be saying, they kicked Trump out, so what? Next man up. Wait a minute.
A hallmark of our constitutional system is the peaceful transfer of power and fair elections, or at least elections that are seen to be mostly fair. If they take that away, Katie barred the door, because that means all bets are off. All bets are off if they do that. That's what I'm saying. I keep saying this is bigger than Donald Trump. The reason we got to stand with Donald Trump is for that principle and that reason alone, if nothing else.
Yeah.
His voice, his message should be in a half a dozen places in this country. A half dozen places in this country, not just here, in a half dozen. We've seen what has happened in the case where it's only just that one. And another thing, hell, citizens should be talking about citizen tribunal, because you never going to get nothing to come out of that Department of Justice that's going to go out to these people and give them the type of justice that they deserve. Just watch what goes down with this Hunter Biden stuff. He might as well not even showed up.
Yeah. I can't wait. Yeah. Boy,
I think there's a good likelihood that he gets acquitted. I think we just got to accept the fact that it's possible. I'm not saying it's certain, but it's certainly possible he might be acquitted by the jury. The jury just decide to acquit him because they're going to send a message to Donald Trump and everybody. The juries, Democrat juries these days want to send messages. They want to send a message to MAGA and everybody who supports Donald Trump. We're not with you. Yeah. We don't care what the law says. We're going to show you how we oppose Trump by doing anything that supports Biden can be even perceived as to be an anti-Trump signature. And this jury verdict that would acquit Hunter Biden would be just that.
Yep. And these plants that we have, you got to watch them too. The Chinese, the China, the Iranians, all these people that don't have, like Sally was talking about, don't have the best interest of America or our constitutional republic in their minds or hearts. They don't honor or respect our system, Sarge. They don't understand it. They don't want to know it, and they don't care about it. At least, you do and I do. We care about our foundations. They don't.
They look at the coming here for one thing, is to get a dollar bill that's highly favorable where they come from at the time. That's what they look for.
Exactly. Yeah, you're so right. You are so right. I would say a majority of them. I wouldn't say every single one of them. I would say a majority of them. You know, I know I've met some good people that were from the Middle East. You know, but majority of them, you're right, Bianchi. They don't have the best interest in this country. They don't care like you do. They don't care like Sarge does. They didn't serve like Sarge did. You know, they're just not. And those are the people that we have to watch out for. We let them get into our local legislative branches, and then what do? They infect it with a cancer, you know, and with these ideas, and they start changing things that, you know, that don't need to be changed.
So the problem is not that they're not necessarily basically decent people, but they come from a culture that does not understand the concept of innocent until the judge guilty by a jury or their peers with due process. That's alien in many of the countries. You are presumed to be guilty and you have to prove your innocence. They don't understand. They really cannot quite grasp this because they simply don't come from a culture that extols and elevates it.
Hell, they come from a culture where you got to pay what we call dash in Africa to get something done.
Yeah. And remember, this is not the same country that used to have an atmosphere that fostered assimilation. We told the immigrants, okay, you can come in here, we'll let you come in here, but you got to become like us in the important things, in the things that are core traditional values that hold the country together. Today, immigrants are told that they're doing us a favor by us letting them in because we're a racist, corrupt, colonialist, imperialist, white supremacist country that deserves to have you here to make us a better place. We are so bad, we need you to make us better. So you bring your values here because they're inherently superior to ours.
Well, see, that's the thing that they tried to do in this city that succeeded. You read that article. Hell, they tried to say that what they're doing is a bunch of racist whites trying to get away from blacks. But the group that was pro the succession, they went to the local Walmart and they interviewed about 100 and some odd blacks, came out the store and asked them the question, have you experienced racism? They said, nope. And they talked to them, why is it that you want to live out in the... You say, I like the country atmosphere. So they disproved all the rhetoric that was being leveled at why this should not happen. And they tried hard. And it should be typical across the country. If you don't like what's going on, you don't want to be like these other factions, the one world order, then we have to leave them. Don't pay no attention to them. Don't play. Let your kids play with them.
Yeah. There you go. Don't mingle with them. That's absolutely right. Nobody says we have to attack them and call them names or be rude or arrogant. Just be polite and just don't mingle with them. Don't assimilate to their views and their values. Keep our traditions and what America stands about, what our people is about. You know what American values are. Not even
Joe. I don't mean that. You know? I don't mean to contradict myself, but when you find some of these immigrants who actually come to the country, not because they're trying to get bennies or goodies. I'm talking about the ones who come here because they are looking for the same sort of liberty and freedoms that Americans have truthfully understood. Those sorts of people can be even better than many of the citizens here who don't know a goddamn thing about civics, the Constitution, or the history of the country.
True.
But unfortunately, those sorts of immigrants are becoming increasingly rare because of this salad bowl approach to the United States instead of the assimilative bowl of the United States, where you just keep your national identity and your culture and your customs, and you can balkanize yourself into your own ethnic sands. And that's what this country is starting to head toward, and that's what these globalists are trying to make us into.
Yeah. Well, Sarge, I threw that number out there. 691,000 Iranians live in this country. Half of them live in California. Why would they go to California? Well, we all know what California represents and stands for, right?
Yes.
I mean, it sure ain't conservatism. So, why would they go there?
Don't you think they know that they're in the country illegally? That ain't no hard guess. So if there was all that just and all that right, would they not say, no, I'm going to do it the right way? Think about it.
Think about it. Yep. Wouldn't you do it the right way? I mean, what would you do, Sarge, if you were in Egypt illegally? Wouldn't you? And you had to be there because you had family there, or you married a woman there, just hypothetically, or you had a child there, and you had to live there. Wouldn't you want to be there legally? Wouldn't you do everything you can to be there legally? It would be on your conscience, not to be, right?
It would be. I definitely wouldn't feel though, even though I have all these good reasons to be there illegally, I wouldn't feel I have a right to be there. If the authorities discover me, they have the right to invoke their laws against my presence there.
Well, I'm going to tell you something. Right. I was in Togo, West Africa, and my visa expired on a Friday, and I couldn't get there. I was worried to hell Saturday and Sunday. And first thing Monday, I was there at the door when they opened up to get it extended. Because I knew I would have been in the country illegal.
Yep, that's your conscience. That's your conscience because you're obviously a good person and you're not a lawbreaker and you believe in the rule of law. But these people don't. They can care less. It's just such an opposite of character.
Well, and then too, you know what? A lot of them are. They are lawbreakers, Joe. There's no doubt about it. Look, I got to blame our government for this more than anything else. Our government has literally told them to come here. Literally, that's what Joe Biden literally told them in the debate and elsewhere on the campaign trail. Come on over if you want to and request asylum. He literally told them that. Why shouldn't they? They're coming from shithole countries.
Yeah, I guess you got a point there too.
And our politicians are more to blame than they are. And yes, we need to deport them. But that doesn't mean I'm still not going to ignore the fact that our goddamn no good stinking politicians are more responsible for what they're doing than they are.
Who's going to report that? And here's another thing. They are contributing to. If you went to a schoolyard and you told a little girl, a 7th grader female, to go get under the football stands and have sex, well, you're going to be contributing to her delinquency. And you're going to get charged and punished. Yeah. Well, they need to be charged and punished also. More so punished than anything else for flying illegals into cities in the middle of the night, turning your back and letting this shit happen?
Giving them taxpayer money for being illegal aliens, evicting veterans from public housing so illegal aliens can take their place. Good God, what are we coming to?
Oh, I know. That's just despicable. When I did that show that night, and that woman on that hotel room openly admitted to me that they were kicking veterans out. Oh, man. To house illegal immigrants. But she wouldn't tell me the amount of the vouchers. She wouldn't tell me that, which I already knew. It was $2,500 they were getting, and the veterans were only getting $300, So, well, despicable. Despicable. That should have been on national news, that show I did there. That should have been at least, that should have been on Fox News. I mean, come on. They couldn't even get that information, Man, oh, man, I just duped her, that lady. I pretended I was bringing in some illegals, busting them in, and I was working for the government.
And then our critics have got the nerve to tell us that we are xenophobic when we see this crap. They're not doing those people any favor with enabling the drug cartels to human traffic them and sex traffic them and slave traffic them. They are the evil ones. They are the ones that hate these people. They're just using them for their political purposes. And they got the nerve, the gall, to tell us there's something wrong with us.
Yeah. Pathetic. I mean, I just don't know.
Worse than that.
Just talking about these subjects, that's why I haven't been really participating too much in the other podcasts, because talking about these subjects, it makes me mad. Ever since the Trump trial, I've been burning up. That because it happened to me too, and I know what they're doing. I'm a political prisoner. It just burns me up, man. It's burning me up. It's just, I can't stand it. When you see the rule of law break down like that, and you can't get a fair trial, we're in trouble. I've been inside these jails. They're not a fun place to be. Sitting there staring at four walls all day long with nothing to do at all. Nothing. Just stare at the walls. That's all you do. It's just boring. It's mind-boggling. It's nuts. It's ridiculous. And then you're in there with people of such low IQ, you can't have a intellectual conversation with anyone of any type of value whatsoever. Unless you're talking about drugs, sex, or just stupid talk. Nonsense. It's just It's mind blowing. It's just mind blowing. I mean, if you brought up the word habeas corpus to half these people in there, they wouldn't know what the hell you're talking about. It's
Sarge is on a black show on the issue of reparations, and I didn't think about it. I started to tell him. I would have told him, I said, well, what grievances do you have similar to the grievances of those that's been held in the gulag for January 6th?
Yeah, right?
I wish I'd have asked that question. I didn't. I wish I had now.
Oh. Where's this show on now?
No, it was on earlier this afternoon.
They got an assembly going on in a judicial assembly hearing going on in the California legislature tomorrow, they say, on this issue about reparation and this is not for all blacks, so they got to identify and go through all that stuff. But that's what's going on.
Oh, I need to call them. Oh, man, I need to call them live on the air or something.
Yeah,
something.
It's in Sacramento, the capital of California is Sacramento, and the state legislature is on reparations.
Yeah.
And how the payments to black people who are descended from African slaves will be compensated for what happened to their ancestors.
No, it's not just about slavery, they say, remember?
Oh, yeah, that's right.
A whole litany.
Yeah, but they said that it would only be available to people who were descended from African slaves.
I need to get him a call. I need to do an extra hour early show because he figured there's 3 hours behind me. So if I did a show at 6, that'd be 3 o'clock in the afternoon there. So they should be in full swing there. I would imagine. At least get a hold of some representatives live on the podcast because, oh boy, man, oh man. But that's something right there. That's just that's a topic there. That's just a real divider for the country. It divides the country. Why are they entertaining this? Why are they even entertaining this? I mean, it's nonsense talk.
They don't care. And then you got some people that take what they're saying as the gospel. Not all. Matter of fact, they're a minute minority. But they got the attention of some politicians out there in California and people elsewhere around the country. Some little pockets.
Oh, wow. Oh, well, let me bring on 214 here. 214, I think it's Gunslinger. You got time. What's up, Gunslinger?
That's just me, just listening.
I think that's you.
Interesting.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah, what do you think? What do you think?
Well, you know, with them idiots over there, like I said, I've said it before, I don't give a fuck about them. Okay? They have nothing to do with America. They can, you know, these people that come over here, you know, protesting for Israel and Palestine and all these idiots. Hey, if you want to protest, go back over there and protest. Get the hell out of my country. We don't want you here. Okay?
Well, you know,
it's plain and simple.
Slinger,
you know,
in the Mexican Constitution, I kid you not. Matter of fact, I'll tell you what I'll do, Joe. Gibson, I'll email a copy of it to you. It'll highlight.
All right.
If you are a foreigner, you cannot protest in Mexico and display a foreign flag. Your ass gonna go to jail.
Yeah, bro.
Oh.
No shit.
Wow.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
That's the way it should be here. Yeah, that's the way
Wait a
it
minute,
should be
certain
here.
types of visas,
I mean,
you're not allowed to participate in demonstrations if you're on certain types of visas here. It's against the law here, too. Just to participate in them.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's true. The visas, yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So why are we allowing it? That's what the problem is. When you bring these idiots over here, I'm going to call them ragheads, I'm going to call them Muslims, I'm going to call them whatever you want to call them, goat humpers, piss drinking son of bitches, okay? And they tried to, you know, establish their system over here. We don't want you. You're criminals. You hump goats. You drink camel piss, and you molest children. Why would you want to support somebody like that? It's beyond me.
I'm telling you.
And you're not American.
Who'd they throw out?
And you're not American. you know, it's crazy. Go to hell back home. Go marry your goat girlfriend and leave the fucking country of America alone. Plain and simple.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I guess somebody was over there at the kitchen wild talk over there, kitchen politics. They threw somebody off the air. Who did they throw off? Was it you, Sarge? Or Bianchi? One of you. Somebody got thrown off the same in the chat room.
I stayed back and listened.
Oh, was it you, Sarge? Did you get kicked out of there?
That was Sarge. You know,
Sarge.
Wait, got kicked out of where?
Go to debate somebody.
Got kicked out of where?
Kitchen politics. Did you get thrown out over there?
I would like to report with great pride that yes, indeed, I did.
It's okay. Nothing to be ashamed of. It's happened to all of us. It's nothing new. What was the debate? What were you debating, or at least trying to get something in there? What was the discussion about?
Well, they can't handle the truth, and it was gun control. They were using all the tropes of guns as proxies for phallic symbols, and we were enamored of guns because they were just extensions of our penis. I mean, I heard that I don't know how many times throughout those moronic discussions they were having.
Of course.
It was really dumb.
Yeah, I know. They don't believe we should own guns, do they? They don't think we should own guns at all. They do not understand what shall not be infringed. They think that it should be regulated to the hilt, and that we should have permission, and that open carry is a definitely no-no. I mean, it's...
Yes, and we need to have government-run armories to store our weapons in when we're not practicing with them or hunting. At the end of whatever activities we're using them for, we should turn them back into the government so they can be housed safely in a government-run and owned armory.
Oh, my God. But that's what they believe, and they will implement that. If they ever had the majority of everything in this country, they would implement this. I mean, look at 1994, Clinton when he banned the assault weapons. You know, I mean, oh my Lord. And these are the people that live amongst us, though. Everybody. Lorianne was talking last night about the mask policy. Sorry, you remember when I played that clip of the guy I argued with in the ABC store down here when I argued about he says, well, I just do what I'm told. I don't care. I'm not going to argue with you. I just do it. If you've got to wear a mask, you're going to wear it, you know, or I'm going to call the sheriff. You know, that's what he told me.
That's right.
You know, flat out.
That's right. That's right.
And you obey. You obey. 907, bringing you on.
We have to obey the orders. The orders are all there is. There is nothing more to discuss. The guy.
907.
Was that you, Sarge?
907.
Yeah, was
no, that was somebody else. That was somebody else who was channeling me.
Oh, okay. Well, I just popped in over there, and they had just dumped somebody, and they were talking bad shit about whoever it was that they had dumped, and so I kind of figured, you know, they were talking about.
Oh no, they dumped me before, but not recently. It was several months ago that I was in with them, and I was giving them too. I was giving them too much truth and fact, and they couldn't handle it.
They are on right now.
Well, I like give them a call live. What do you think?
Kick us off. I mean, you know, it's really good. With them, it's a waste of time. I don't mind going on and taking on libs if they let you speak. Like the libs I was talking to today. I actually got my point of view across. I actually got my point of view across. But, you know, these people, man, I mean, they are fascistic censors. They don't believe in
somebody put the phone number in the chat room, please? I'll tell them I'm simulcasting. I can't. Yeah, please.
Hang on.
All right. And I got everybody unmuted, so I got 5 of us unmuted, so you guys can do whatever you want. You guys do whatever you need, and somebody's going to have to tell them that I'm on. I can't press 1. I don't think it gives me the option to press 1 here on 5, but he might just bring me on. No, that's right. They don't wait till you press 1 usually. Usually they just bring you on, so we'll get them on there. We'll talk about stuff until they unmute. We'll listen in. Let's see what we got going on.
Okay.
Thank you.
It's
right.
in the chat. It's in the chat room. They were just talking about how good the corporate system works and how fair it is.
Lord. How fair it is.
Yes.
Oh, Lord.
But these people live amongst us, everybody. They live amongst us. They're nuts. They're nuts.
And they think the Trump jury, it's the same people who tell you the Trump jury was legitimate. And they'll swear to God. They would swear with their hands on the Bible, which they don't believe in anyway, but they still swear on it, saying it was legitimate.
Yeah. All right, I'm dialing them. Let's dial them.
Blog Talk Radio. Welcome to Blog Talk Radio. Please hold and you will be able to listen to the show.
At the gate. You told me Jesus looks at what I do.
Oh, this nutcase.
And the truth of what I do. You told me to focus on my own sin and not judge. You told me to be accepting and forgiving. So I paid attention. I took in every lesson as you told me. But now you call me a libtard. You call me a crew lover. You call me a woke. You call me a backslider. You call me a heretic. You make fun of my heart. You mock the people that I am trying to help. And you tell me that I am the child of the devil? You call me soft. You call me a snowflake. You call me a socialist. You shun the very people you told me to help. What in the hell do you expect of me? I thought you were serious, but apparently you are not. You hate nearly all the people I love. You stand against nearly all the things that I stand for. I'm trying to see a way forward, but it's hard. When I survey all the hurt, harm, and darkness that comes in the wake of what you're trying to tell me now, what in the hell do you expect me to do? I believe in the beginning what you told me to do. I believe that I should love and help. But this leaves me wondering, what has happened to you? That is to all the right-wing Christians and to the megas.
Yeah, that was a good poem and everything.
Yes.
I don't know what happened to Republicans, you know. There was, at least back in the 80s and the 70s, they put country ahead. They put country ahead of party. But it's just, you know, like morphed into this craziness, you know. And you wonder when the craziness came in. Was it the contract with America when Newt Gingrich took over and that whole bag of thing about, you know, Tea Party and what have you? It just turned crazy. You know, we'll have a new caller from Manhattan. I think this is a first-time caller. Marble Hill, Manhattan, New York. We'll get them shortly. 515-605-9802. Say your first name, where you're calling in from. Hello, New York. Welcome to the show. What's cooking?
Well, this is Joe.
Man.
I'm actually, how you doing? I just wanted to know what I heard. That lecture that the gentleman was giving. I just didn't know what he was referring to. Was he referring to that people, that Christians or Republicans or just Republicans? I mean, was it somebody that made a statement towards them? I don't know. I caught the tail end of it. That's why I'm asking.
Oh, you mean the poem that Elaine just read? Basically,
yes.
You know, it's criticizing the
I'll
way
tell
how,
them who it's to. It's to the right-wing Christians, and it's to you mega Republicans.
Well,
his
so
name
you're
is
judging
David.
us. You're judging us.
Did you hear it loud and clear, I hope? And by the way, didn't you call from a different state last time?
Yeah. What's the big deal? I mean, I'm just calling from a different number.
That's last time. What do you have, burner phones?
No.
How you doing, David?
Wait
David
a minute.
Are burner phones forbidden? I'm just asking.
I mean, I'm just curious. I'm just curious as to why you would call all Republicans that, because not all of us are. I mean, we have a right to judge some things, but not all of us are calling you names or insulting you. We just like to have very productive discussions where we don't argue back and forth. And I always have found it that really a lot of liberals that I've spoken to are the ones that call the names and start becoming irate and angry. Now, that's happened to me a few times on this show, a few times. Am I right or wrong?
Me too.
Yeah. Okay. But Joe, the thing is, why don't the regular, down to earth, you know, straight thinking conservative retake their party? Because, you know, this whole thing about, you know, like libtard and what have you, you know, it's not helping anything. You know,
I agree.
And
I agree 100% with you. Name calling is not. You're right.
All right. Name calling may be counterproductive, but when you call someone a Marxist, and if you're being intellectually honest, you will attribute to them those qualities that are characteristic of Marxism, and if you can show how they align, then that is a legitimate criticism.
Would you agree with that?
But Democrats are progressive, and progressivism is not Marxism or Leninism or communism or even socialism. You know, we'll have a form of socialism here. FDR in the 1930s had you know, the different programs to help in alleviating Great Depression. And, you know, it's worked to this day. But what conservatives are trying to do is uproot that system. LBJ in the 1960s, 1964 onwards, had, you know, the different programs that help a lot of people. It gave the right for African Americans to vote, you know, and the Equal Rights Amendment and what have you. So why are, you know, conservatives so bent out of shape for giving rights to women
okay.
when I got the vote in
wait a minute.
1919.
Your characterization of being bent out of shape implies a sort of hysteria that may or may not be true, depending upon who you're talking about. What we are concerned about is the lack of constitutional fidelity to many of the things that progressives propose. We are concerned about things that are contrary to the rule of law and the common law jurisprudence that has been established over the last 2 centuries in the United States. That's what we're concerned about. We're not bent out of shape about it. We oppose it when we hear it, and we will explain in great detail why we oppose it.
Then, sir, why do you interpret the Constitution that the Constitution is going to regulate a woman's body? If that's the case, then the Constitution should regulate the man's body, and when is it going to be a mandate for you to get a vasectomy?
Now, come on.
When is it going to be a mandate?
A vasectomy,
off the market.
The purpose of a vasectomy is to halt the male reproductive process. The purpose of an abortion is to end the human life that has begun to develop in the woman. They are at odds with each other.
That is a fetus. That is a fetus.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
The word fetus is Latin for baby. Fetus is Latin for baby.
Go ahead, David. Go ahead, David. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Go ahead.
But the thing is, for example, in Texas, where that woman was pregnant, we spoke about the woman in Tennessee where she had a baby in her and the skull wasn't developing, and more than likely, if that baby was born, it would have been stillbirth. So why should a woman bring to term, full term, a baby that's not developed and will die when it's born, or even die inside her? Do you know how dangerous that is? You know, and the emotional damage that causes.
Sir, please don't misunderstand this, and please don't distort our positions on this. None of us that I know of, in all of the hundreds of discussions I've had about abortion, I don't know a single conservative that does not regrettably admit that abortion to save the life or physical health of the mother is a necessary procedure. I don't know of one person who has ever said otherwise. I don't understand why whenever this discussion, man, I'm speaking for myself. Do you mind if I speak for myself? Now, again, I don't know why it is whenever the discussion comes up, whenever this discussion comes up, they go to the most extreme, rare examples rather than the common abortions, of which constitute 97% of them, which are normal pregnancies.
Wait. You are lying. You are lying.
Man, you're a fanatic. You don't know what you're talking about. You're a fanatic.
We're not going to get anywhere yelling. Hang on.
I know we're not, but she's denying reality and fact.
May I ask?
Go ahead,
this? Okay, let me ask this one simple question. There have been 60 million abortions since Roe v. Wade was passed, and of those 60, so by your extreme measures of what you say, there were 60 million fetuses that were not viable. Is that what I'm understanding?
No, I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that. But the thing is, it's a woman's body, so it should be her choice. No man, no politician, whether man or woman, has that right to say, okay, we'll legislate so you can't have an abortion for any reason. And why is it that, conservatives who say they're pro-life, if a woman wants to have an abortion,
does that mean
that abortion? Can I answer the question? If a doctor wants to perform an abortion on that woman for whatever reason, it's her body, her choice. Why is it that conservative religious Republicans want to have the death penalty for anybody?
What about the child?
It's the woman's
child doesn't have a say.
It's the woman's choice. In the end, it's
Okay.
the woman's
Who sticks up
choice.
for the child, David?
For whatever
Okay.
reason, whether health reason or for economic
Okay.
reason, whatever reason.
I'll agree with that. For health
So let
reasons,
me ask
okay,
you
the
a
woman's
question,
life is
please.
in jeopardy, of course. Go ahead.
So
why
may
is
I ask you a
it
question,
such a
please?
problem? Why is it such a problem to make sure that the swimmers don't make contact? Why is a vasectomy so appalling to you? Because it's going and it's telling you what to do with your body, isn't it?
No, no, because a vasectomy does not end the human life. An abortion does.
Oh, excuse me. Your swimmers are part of it.
They're not human unless they intersect with the 23 chromosomes in the egg. That is science, madam. That is science.
Get pregnant by having sex with a rock.
Again, ma'am, a human being is not 23 undifferentiated chromosomes in a man. An egg is not a human being that is in a woman. Until they intermix, a human being does not occur.
In other words, the minute a man has to take responsibility, you get bent out of shape and you start screaming and yelling. You don't want a woman to tell you that you
interrupt people in the middle of their sentences. That's why. You interrupt people in the middle of their voice.
Can I jump in?
This woman just got her ass kicked, and now she's got to call me names and get vile. She just got her ass beat, and now she's calling me names and she's getting vile. That's what they always do.
Not going to get us anywhere.
If you were a man, you would believe in a vasectomy. Take charge.
And you make no sense.
Why
does someone have to end their reason? How is that comparable to ending a human life? That's not even logical. That's not even logical.
Oh, my goodness.
A vasectomy is the same thing as ending human life.
Unbelievable.
That's crazy.
See, the minute you tell a man that he has to do something, he doesn't like it, but it's okay for him to tell a woman that he's going to control her body.
Responding to irrationality is the same thing, though.
The women are telling the man you have to irrationality. That's the way you feel.
That is an irrational, incoherent argument. That's why. They're not the same.
Why is it that?
It's not the same. It's certainly
no, it's not the same.
Get pregnant by having sex with a rock. With a man, and if he doesn't want to get her pregnant, he has a vasectomy.
A wet dream is not ending human beings. When a man has a wet dream and a nocturnal emission, he's not ending human life.
Sarge,
I don't know why you can't understand a scientific fact.
Sarge, hang on a second.
There also is legislation in the works from 2025 that
I have to pause about it because as the horses show, when I say everybody be quiet, be goddamn quiet. My question is, no shouting. Okay, my question is no. Why is it that Republicans want to legislate the woman's body, but they don't want to have legislation on gun control?
That's not what we want to do. That's a specious argument. That's not what we want. That is not what we want to do. That is a specious argument. We don't want to do that.
You don't want to do what?
Well, if you don't interrupt me, I will tell you.
Body. Yeah, go ahead.
All right, here's what we want to do. We understand, like I own 11 firearms. They have been in my gun safe for the most part until I take them out to the range to train. Not one of them in the 15 years I've owned them has killed a human being. Not one of them. Now, I want to ask you this simple question. Here is my proposition, and I want to know whether or not you agree with it. It's a very simple question. I say to you, or a statement rather, I say to you, every single successful abortion, unlike merely possessing a gun, ends a developing human life. Now, do you agree with that or not?
No, I do not agree with it. You're the one that caused
Now tell me why.
Tell me
why.
Here we go. Legislation that you must have a vasectomy.
Tell me why you don't agree with that simple statement.
I just got through telling you. But you
no,
don't
you
want
didn't. You
me
tried
to
to
control
compare
your body,
apples
do
to
you?
watermelon.
He did try.
You just tried to compare apples to watermelon. That's what you did.
Answer.
They're not the same.
Oh.
Why?
Yes,
He's trying
it is
to tell
the same.
you.
Oh, yes, it is the same. Oh, yes, it is the same.
Okay.
A woman does not get pregnant
I got
with
the
a
answer
rock.
to my question. I got the
A
answer.
woman
You don't have an
gets
answer.
pregnant from the penis, and the penis needs a vasectomy.
That's the most irrational response I've ever heard, but you're entitled to it, okay? But it's irrational. It doesn't make sense.
Oh, but a
Okay,
woman can't have
ma'am.
an opinion about what to do with a man, right?
Opinions are not ending a human life.
A woman cannot have an opinion on how
Opinions
to
don't end human lives.
by telling the man what he
Actions
needs to do.
Actions end human lives, not opinions.
Then keep your pants zipped.
See, this is what I mean. She's
And
got
have
no
a
argument. She's silly.
vasectomy.
On top of being
Have a
irrational, she's
vasectomy.
silly.
Have a
That's a
vasectomy.
silly reply, ma'am. Ma'am, that's
That
a silly
was
reply.
silly, but that's all they can do. They cannot make
Have a
arguments.
vasectomy.
They're
Have a
irrational.
vasectomy. You're blaming the woman.
Ma'am.
No, it doesn't work that way. You are blaming the woman.
Sorry, don't say
Ma'am?
nothing. Go ahead. Boy.
Ma'am?
How about that?
Ma'am?
How about this? Why not teach sex education in schools and have contraception instead of trying to ban it? Why not have free contraception for women? Because whether you like it or not, in high schools, kids are having sex. So why not teach them the right way? You're not giving them permission to have sex, but it's happening anyway. So just do the correct thing in teaching them the protocols and what is
expected. Okay, so David, we agree that the limit of abortions is sky high. We should not endorse abortion, right? You're saying that, right? We shouldn't be endorsing it, right?
No, I'm saying that is the woman's body. It's her choice. Why does a man in Congress or any politician, whether man or woman, want to legislate what a woman does?
Can I answer that?
There are various reasons why women want to get an abortion. It could be economic reasons. It could be that she got incest, rape, whatever. And
the rarity, you're invoking the rarity again. The rare things you invoke and ignore the mean.
Sorry, hang on. Where do we draw the line, David? Where do we draw the line? I mean, so everything that matters to a woman, then men can't legislate, and everything that matters to a man, what do we do? Separate the country in half and divide us even more? I mean, why? I mean, we have representatives elected to office to legislate
Excuse me, but who is passing laws on the women? The men are. Now, I suggest as a woman to start passing laws on the men. You are just as responsible. Vasectomy. Vasectomy.
Now, here you go.
Silly, I don't know what to say. You just keep saying it if you want to.
I know.
Be my guess. It's still silly.
It's not a viable argument. But, David, my question is
you wouldn't have to
what do we
worry
do?
about it if you got a vasectomy, would you?
David,
That's the answer.
Now every man in every manhood. All right, let's take your argument to its absurd conclusion, okay? Let's take your argument. Let's follow it through to its absurd conclusion. I'm going to look at your argument and say, okay, good idea. Every man should get a vasectomy. Now, we've got a world where every man has a vasectomy. Now, what do we do with the existing bunch of pregnant women who are left? Because the human race is going to end with all those vasectomized men if we abort all the babies from the women that are left pregnant. That's another silly argument,
when
isn't it?
you decide to have children. Oh,
so then don't force vasectomy. See, if you force a vasectomy, you are preventing the reproductive process. You're not enabling it by giving the vasectomy. Giving an abortion ends the reproductive process. Do you not understand the distinction? It ends the reproduction when you are.
Oh my God!
Got us on mute.
Okay, so the bottom line is, women can have the right to have an abortion for whatever reason she wants, okay? Whether it's incest, rape, she don't want to have a kid because she wants to focus on her career. Whatever reason, she already has kids, and she don't want any more kids. If she wants to have an abortion, okay? It's her choice, her body, her choice. What don't you understand from that?
Well, why don't we allow women to be prostitutes then? Why is every state in the union except one county in Nevada have laws against prostitution then? Why?
Who cares about your Bible?
Sarge, hang on a
second,
believe in
the Bible. I'm happy for you, but not everybody's a Christian.
I'm not a Christian
we're not
either.
monolithic here, where Christianity is the end all and
I'm
be
not a
all
Christian
and final
either.
word. Some people are atheists. Some people are whatever religion they are. Hindu, Jewish, Muslim. So just leave it alone. Go back to the old days where, if we didn't have an abortion like Roe versus Wade law and everything, women would be going in the back alleys and having bad abortions and killing themselves, or maiming themselves because, they have to hide to get an abortion. And it's not right. And when conservatives and right-wingers and evangelicals say, the doctor should be held responsible and lose a livelihood and lose what they love doing, being a doctor and helping people, and may go to jail because of performing abortion, and they should get death penalty. Both the woman who had an abortion and the person who performed the abortion. If you're so pro-life,
where are you getting
why
this
the hell
shit from?
is it you want the death
That's
penalty
never
for
been
these
proposed
people? Why?
anywhere.
Just answer
Not in
that.
the United States. Never.
Where's this death penalty for performing abortion
than anything
bullshit
else? Look
coming
how
from?
school shootings we've had. Look how many random shootings we've had. Why not control and regulate guns than a woman's body?
Red herring arguments
if they had
are a little
gun
hard to
insurance
follow.
liability, I bet you
Well,
all these shootings
can
would
we
go down.
analyze
There'd be
one
more
argument at a
responsible gun
time?
owners, and we need red flags law in these different, especially red states. Why would you need an AR-15 to go hunting? That's rubbish.
Okay. I don't have a gun to go hunting.
So
that's not why I have one.
Regulate guns and not the woman's body. That's all I'm saying. Now I'm going to put everybody back on because it's been a shouting match.
Yeah.
And like I said, we're not going to have a shouting match back and forth. Can we have a conversation that's civil and
I would like
shouting
to have
back
that.
and forth?
Unmuted.
I really would like to have a conversation.
Go. I'll talk to y'all later.
Yeah, thank you.
Wait. Can I ask a question, David?
Sure.
Okay. Now, the question I want to know is, what source do you have that says that there's going to be a death penalty for doctors performing abortion? Where is that coming from?
In the United States Congress, in Missouri, House of Representatives, in Texas, House of Representatives, in Florida.
May I ask for the names and what state they're from and what legislation they proposed of the Congress of the people who have proposed these laws? What state are they from? What are their names?
You just said
and
Missouri.
where is the legislation?
Okay,
you just said Missouri.
It's online. Just all you have to do is Google, and it will come up. Florida, Missouri, Texas, even Indiana. Want to have these crazy laws where if a doctor perform an abortion, then a woman.
But there's no legislation on the table, though. There's no sponsored legislation right now.
Joe, to be fair to the gentleman, Joe, this has been proposed in a couple of states, but usually those proposals deal with a criminal abortion that results in the death of the woman that is being performed criminally, because there are criminal abortions that are not performed in accordance with state medical regulations. Those are the only ones that I know of.
About.
Okay,
That's
okay.
not what I'm talking about, sir.
Got it. The death
Okay,
penalty the death of a woman that results from a criminal abortion. Criminal.
Okay, yeah, we got that. Okay, that's what he said. Okay, you asked about AR-15.
Abortion.
When are you going to get your vasectomy?
Will you stop asking me that silly question? Because I'm not going to answer it. I understand that's your position. I refuse to answer it. It's silly. I don't answer silly questions. That's not. You didn't answer my question. You talked about a vasectomy.
What was
David,
your
you
question?
asked about AR-15s. David,
Okay, let me ask the question again. Hold on, Joe. Let me ask her the question again that I asked the gentleman. Let me ask her the question that I asked of the gentleman. Okay. Does a successful abortion end a developing normal pregnancy and therefore end a human life? Yes or no?
Not necessarily normal, doesn't it?
No,
not necessarily.
All right, now thank you for the answer. Thank you. Now you care to elaborate? Do you care to elaborate?
Elaborate, please.
It's a fetus.
With no heart, no brain, no nervous system, and no separate entity. It is an imposition on the body of the woman who
I understand
has
all of that.
whether she wants it there.
She's trying to elaborate,
whether
Sarge.
or not you like it. You have no choice in what she does with her body. You can take your body and stick shit up your ass if you want, but it's not my problem. And you don't have a right to decide what I do with mine.
Okay, she described accurately the physical condition of a fetus in embryo, which means it doesn't have a brain, doesn't have a heart, it doesn't have a nose. That is all true. But I don't know about you, but I know this for every human being I've ever read in a scientific manner. The continuum of your life began the moment you were conceived and will continue until your death. And that is how you exist. And if you're going to tell me, that in the, see what I mean? She can't handle the truth. She can't handle the truth. She can't handle the truth.
Okay.
I heard that, Sarge.
You can't handle the truth. Who caused the problem?
She has to interrupt me. She can't handle the truth.
Swimmer caused the problem. Your swimmer caused the problem.
What, did I rape her? Did I rape her, or was she consenting?
Your swimmer caused the problem.
All right, see what I mean? Once again, she can't handle the truth, and she can't answer the problem.
That's an irrational response. That you know that.
She can't answer a question.
That is irrational.
This is irrationality. This is irrationality in action. You see it.
May I make it?
No.
May I make a suggestion?
Does a woman get pregnant by having sex with rock, or does she get pregnant by having sex with a man?
Joe wants to ask a question for the past 10 minutes. We'll have limited time.
May I ask a
question? Yeah.
When are you going to elect enough feminist women to go into the state legislatures or the Congress of the United States and pass a law that all men have to have a vasectomy?
I am all for it, 1,000%. I am all for all men getting a vasectomy at age 18. Then you eliminate the abortion problem.
Eliminate the
culture of death speak.
I'll tell you
the
what.
culture of death has
You boys want to play? Well, then have
the culture of death speak.
And have some respect and have some culpability. Have some responsibility.
She wants to wipe out the human race because she doesn't want us to object to abortion.
Let me ask another question. When a woman chooses on her own, with her own body, that she wants to produce a child, how in the hell is that going to happen when all the men have vasectomies? How are you going to have your child?
Because a vasectomy can be reversed. And that would be done with either the couple staying together or married.
So you're going to force men
Now
to have children with a woman to
following the laws of God, aren't you?
You have the most idiotic.
Listen,
I never heard of that in my life.
You know? Why is it that when the baby is born, and okay, it's been put up for adoption and everything, so you say you're pro-life and everything, but you know you fight against gay people adopting? Why is that a problem for right-wing conservatives?
Unmuted.
You know,
Okay,
you're there for the child, and you're yes, go ahead.
Thank you. Because the union is between a man and a woman. That's the definition of marriage. And that's how we reproduce in the human race, between a man and a woman.
Joel. Not everybody believes in the Bible. Love is love. If you love a next man or a woman love a next woman, it's their business.
So if I love a tree, can I have a child?
Big government not going inside somebody's.
You're so against abortion. Well, why does it bother you then if two women or two men get together and they love one another? That eliminates abortions.
Because why don't the women tied in tubes? Why don't you have the women? Why don't you have the women tied in tubes?
Gay people don't have sex with animals or dead people.
But I'm just saying, what if I did?
It's
what
somebody
if I did,
who's
though?
crazy. You know, that's your preconceived notion of
well,
gay
wait a
people.
second. You're saying that's crazy, David. David, you're saying that's crazy. What? Why? You're saying that everyone has the individual right to have a child with whomever they choose, man or woman or whatever. If I choose to have a child with a horse, that's my right. If I identify as a woman today, that's my right, according to the liberal standards.
It's not biologically possible.
It's not biologically possible, Joel.
It's not biologically possible for two men to have a child.
Why are you hell-bent?
Tell me how it's biologically. Explain to me how it's biologically possible for two women or two men to have a child.
They don't.
Why are we worried about it? I said if they don't have one, then you eliminate the problem of abortion, don't you?
I suggest a better option is for women to tie their tubes. Women are born with all the eggs they'll ever have in their life. It's easier to fix it with them than with us.
Oh, no, it's not. Oh, no, it's not. Publications are not easy.
I don't know what you're talking about. And women do not continually manufacture eggs.
About a quarter of an inch under the skin on a man. It can be done in a office call with a local. You can't do that to a woman. It involves as much as taking out an appendix or having a hysterectomy. All those things require abdominal surgery.
No, this
to have your
tubes tied.
Are you serious?
He will not take responsibility for his beliefs.
Yeah, and you will not stop making silly arguments.
His bodily organ touched. He does not want his penis touched. But it's okay to tell a woman what to do. This is the whole crutch of the argument. This man wants to lord it over women. And you know what?
So we have that disagreement then. How do we come to a conclusion then?
I'm tired
How do we
of
come
it.
to a conclusion? Well, you're tired of it, but how do we come to a rational conclusion?
You want to lord it over us? We want you to get a vasectomy.
Okay.
Well, the Bible says
well, you're really hung up on that one, ain't you? I mean, you got an obsession with that. I noticed.
May I
with denutting a man. You're the one with the problem.
Let me ask another question.
You two stop. Joe,
let me ask another.
Yes,
okay,
David.
Let me ask.
Yes, David. All right, boys.
Okay.
But it's my turn. Go ahead, David.
Are condoms a viable alternative to a vasectomy? That stops the swimmers.
If used correctly, yes. But you guys won't use them.
Oh, please.
Yeah. Well, you know, here's something that I might suggest is that before a man and a woman have sex, why isn't it okay for the woman to install a condom on a man?
What, you haven't got, you don't know how to do it? Get a banana and practice.
Failure rates for condoms are 20%. Failure rates for condoms are 20%. They're not foolproof.
Well,
my God.
And then do it. But,
my God.
Can I ask about gun control?
Yeah, sure. Condom, that works 100% of the time, right? Yeah, sure.
I don't think we can get anywhere on the abortion
Joe,
issue.
ask a question. Everybody,
Yes,
Joe's
thank you.
asking a question. Go ahead, Joe.
Yes, David. Why is it wrong for Americans to own an AR-15 or any type of semi-automatic rifle? Why would that be wrong?
What the hell?
Well, because it's a weapon of war, Joe. You know, why would anybody want to have an AR-15 in their house? You know, you could have whatever other gun. We're not against, not people not having a gun, but you have to be responsible. Why would somebody want an AR-15 and they're not in the army or the armed forces?
Because
it's a dangerous weapon.
Let me answer that one, Joe. Let me answer that one.
Go ahead.
Let me answer that one, Joe. Let me answer. Here's the reason why, sir. Because the AR-15 is an excellent design that combines low recoil, accuracy, lightweight, and a cartridge that can be easily managed by any number of adult shooters. That's why. It is an excellent design that lends itself to easy maintenance, ready access of parts, and ease of use. That is why, sir, I need no other reason.
It's supposed to be ease of use for murderers. That's the point.
Let me ask.
Hang on. Now let me answer, please.
ID through DNA to identify those children to their parents, because one shot of that.
You can have any number of rifles that are semi-automatic and look different and shoot precisely the same cartridge and will do exactly the same thing, exactly the same damage.
You're wrong.
So why are you making the decision?
You're wrong.
Why are you making?
Why don't you in your infinite wisdom about firearms tell me why I'm wrong? Why? Why am I wrong?
Because
why am I wrong?
You need that to defend yourself unless you're being attacked by the fucking Costa Rican army.
Wait a minute. Somebody just said I was wrong. I want them to explain to me what I said that was wrong.
Are you talking about a hunting rifle?
Ma'am, let me say again what I just said. Let me say again what I just said, okay? Because, I'm as clear as day what I just said. I said the AR-15 is a semi-automatic rifle that fires a .223 cartridge that is common to dozens of semi-automatic rifles that don't look like it. The bullet that it fires does exactly the same damage, no matter what type of weapon it's in.
We're muted, Sarge.
What the hell's going on here?
Yes, Lord. Yeah, trying to keep order, but everybody's showing themselves and everything.
May I ask?
These people are
muted. I don't care what you say about the bullets.
May I ask a question?
Boyd, we're muted, Boyd.
It should not be on the market for anyone.
Oh.
That is what the AR-15 is good for, killing people. That's
okay, she just meant a lot of nonsense that did not answer my question. She never answers the question. It's a direct question. She can't answer it.
For an AR-15, we want them banned. They're dangerous.
All right, so what about the other semi-automatic rifles that use the exact same cartridge? With the exact same terminal ballistic?
Why do you want that?
What about them?
Muted, Sarge.
What about the exact same rifles that use the exact same bullet that does exactly the same thing terminal ballistic-wise? What about them?
May I ask? May I ask a question?
This woman is utterly irrational. I swear, she can't answer a question. She just can't.
Okay. May I ask a question?
He's trying to answer, Sarge.
Yeah, go ahead.
He's trying to answer.
Stop a moment. Stop. Go ahead and ask the question. Go ahead.
All right, one more time. The AR-15 is a semi-automatic rifle that fires a .223 cartridge semi-automatically. What about the dozens of other semi-automatic rifles that shoot the exact same cartridge that does the exact same damage?
I don't care.
You shouldn't have any of them,
Paula. It's a weapon of war.
It's weapons of war.
Why are you singling out an AR-15 then?
It's a
May I
why
ask
is
a
it why is
question?
it up to someone else? Why is it up to someone else to decide how I protect myself, though? Why is it up to someone else?
Man, I'm telling you, it's rationality.
Men
It's a rationality weekend here.
To have a baby.
Okay, that's a great question. That's a great question. You know what I'm going to ask you? Why is it that other men think that they can decide if a woman can have a fucking abortion or not? How's that one?
There you go. There you go.
May I ask? May I ask? May I ask another question?
You
May I ask? Okay, thank you.
Good luck with that.
Can any of you tell me what army in the world uses the AR-15?
Don't care.
Don't care. I don't care who uses them. They are a weapon.
The United States of America Army.
They don't care. They don't care. That's it, boys.
But that was the point of making an amendment.
May I respond? May I respond? May I respond?
We have seen.
No, I got one on the AR.
May I respond? May I respond?
Lori's trying to respond to you, but you keep interrupting her.
No, I'm trying.
Yeah, you never do.
May I respond? The AR-15.
Why don't you let Lori respond? You keep interrupting her.
You will not find any army in any part of this world that has an AR-15 for use as a military weapon. The AR-15.
Then what the hell do you need it for?
What is it? Who cares?
Because it's not a military.
Because it's not a. You can explain why you need it, and they'll say you don't need it.
It's not a military. It's not. Listen, it's not a military weapon, as you claim. It is not.
It was.
We heard that, boy. We heard it.
That doesn't make any difference.
Okay, everybody keep quiet. The AR-15 rifle was originally designed for military use in 1958 by infantry rifle designer Eugene Stoner. The Advanced Research Project Agency, the ARPA, purchased 1,000 AR-15s in 1961 for use by South Vietnamese troops and their U.S. Special Forces advisors during the Vietnam War. So we used them during Vietnam.
AR,
it was lightweight. It was compact.
The AR-15, when it was first produced for the military, was given to the United States Air Force security forces around the world. The Air Force threw those guns out because they did not perform as they wanted them to. They are not a military-grade weapon.
So they did not kill enough people quickly enough. Is that what you're saying?
Madam, that's not true. That's not true. You literally don't know what you're talking about. Literally.
Bars.
No, you men don't know what you're talking about. Now let Lori talk.
Ma'am, I used that goddamn rifle for 25 years. I know what it can do.
I don't care. No one
Will you
cares.
stop making things up?
No.
You're the one that's making things up.
Have you done any deep investigation into the AR-15?
It doesn't matter, boy. She doesn't care about the facts of the truth. She just doesn't care. She said it. Remember? She doesn't care.
All right, Bob, we heard that.
It's not used for home protection. It's not used for anything sensible.
Exactly.
Okay.
Have you
gone?
My
original question was this. Why did you get to make the decision? Sorry. Man.
I've done investigation into the AR-15s. The children, the children that were killed with them all were in closed coffins because they were hamburger in plastic bags. That's
how many people rifles of all types last year. Hey, man, let me ask you a question. How many people were killed in the United States by rifles of every type? That includes so-called assault weapons, shotguns, shoulder-fired rifles. How many people were killed in the United States by rifles? All of them. How many?
Other countries put together.
See, once again, no answer.
You guys
no answer.
Penis,
they don't care. They don't care what the truth is.
Hang it up.
No. Answer the question, John. Lynn, answer the question, but nobody wants to listen. Lynn, answer the question.
She won't answer. She doesn't care. She says it over and over.
Let her answer the question, Sarge. Oh, no. Lynn, answer the question. If you stop talking and listen, you'd hear Lynn from New Mexico answer your question. Go ahead again.
More than 38,000 people were killed.
Liar! That's a lie. That's not true. Come on. That's not what the FBI says, and that's not what the Center for Disease Control says. She's a liar. She just lied.
Put together.
She just lied. That was a flat-out lie. That wasn't true.
On the fucking planet, and you're an idiot.
You're full of shit. Okay. You're lying.
David, hang up.
No, you are.
Thank you for using Blog Talk Radio. Goodbye.
Well, they hung up on us. I knew that was going to happen.
Well, I had to say it. The bitch just fucking lied. According to the FBI and the Center for Disease Control, less than 400 people were killed by rifles of all types. Less than 400.
We know that. We know that, but we won't get our point across yelling at them. It's not going to work.
I know. We ain't even get no point across. You heard the fucking bitch. She don't care.
I know, Sarge, but
these people are alien to truth and reason.
Sarge, calm down. You're back in our trenches. You're back in our trenches.
I understand that, but I'm saying these people are alien to truth and reason. They don't want to have a dialogue.
Calm down. You're back in our trenches. We don't need no misfires going around in our own trenches now.
Calm down. Approaching things from a point of reason and discussion and discourse with these people is like throwing pearls to swine. They could give a damn less.
Well, that's you're absolutely positively right, but still, Sarge, just calm down. We got them, and they don't know it, and they will never realize it. They are that far gone that they can't see anything. They can only see the lies that they've been told. So just leave it be for right now.
I didn't expect to get anywhere with them. I didn't expect to get anywhere with them whatsoever. But they did reveal themselves for what they are.
We can go back and play with them some more later. You know, they have another show coming up.
They won't take a chance.
Friday
they won't take
and
a chance.
Saturday.
They won't take a chance on us exposing their bullshit.
Well, here's wait, Sarge. We're not going back this week. We're not going to go back next week. We'll give them a little while to think that we're gone. Then we'll go back and we'll tweak them some more.
She literally said 38,000 people in the country were killed by AR-15. She literally said that. Now she'll just say, "Oh yeah, you're entitled to your opinion."
Yeah, well, no. you know that that's a lie, and you know that they will not succumb to the truth. So you just need to calmly you need to calmly talk to them and say, "You're fucking lying." You don't yell at the top of your voice.
Probably just say, "I need to get a vasectomy."
Don't yell at the top. Don't yell at the top of your voice.
She should probably just say, "I need to get a vasectomy" or some shit, or interrupt me halfway through my point, because she knows it's the truth.
Well, they know what she knows what the truth is, but she's sticking with the lie. The truth is ugly to her. She doesn't know. She doesn't want to face the truth because it's ugly. That's the way it is, and what their problem really is that the truth could be so ugly that they don't want to face it. They would rather live in the lie than figure out what the truth is, and they're just, lost souls.
The truth is alien to their version of reality. They insist the world conform to it. It's like transgenderism. If someone says they're a woman, you are damned if you dare oppose their view. I mean, they simply want the world to conform to what they think is true. And they will not brook opposition to that view. They're fanatics. They're crazy.
Yeah.
And this woman embodied the culture of death. She says she prefers that all men get a vasectomy. And then she says it could be reversed so easily. And it's always successful, she implied. They believe in the culture of death. They're fanatics. They are death cultists.
Well, we know that. And we go back and we'll throw some more truth in them in a little while and drive them up a wall, because they ended their show. They didn't mute us and hang up on us. They ended their show. They completely shut the show down.
Wow.
Yeah,
a piece of work.
They could have just as easily hung up on us, and closed us down and everything. But they didn't. They actually shut the fucking show down.
Well, earlier today, I was on a show with some progressives, diametrically opposed to everything I had to say about reparations. But I was able to have a constructive and meaningful dialogue with them, and nobody yelled at anybody else. I mean, there are leftists out there with whom you can have it. This particular bunch, especially them screeching harpies they got on that show, there's no way possible to have it. They're fanatics. And they don't want to hear anything to the contrary that opposes their worldview. They just can't tolerate it.
Well, that's why I call them the kitchen bitches instead of the kitchen politics.
Well, whatever. All I got to say is that's what we're up against. This is what Victor David Hanson talks about when he talks about things he talks about. The almost psychotic nature of progressivism. Now, not all of them are like that. She represents among the worst faces of it. But there is a spectrum upon which she is not atypical.
Yes. Hey, Joe, you want to unmute Kat? Hello? Hello? Sarge, are you still here?
Yeah, I'm still here. I hear you.
Okay. All right. Boy, all of a sudden, is it just you and me now, Sarge? Where's everybody? Where's Joseph?
I don't know.
Good God, the rabble rousers are gone.
Yeah.
Damn, this is interesting.
Well, I don't know, Joe. Joe, know maybe Joe's on mute. Joe, you on mute?
I don't know. Let's see.
Still there? You still there, Boyd?
Yes, I'm here. I was just typing a message.
If you'd like to get a load of anything that might be a bit amusing, you can take a look at the trolls in the chat room here on Joe's show. We got one guy here who's a self-satisfied, smug, cynic know-it-all who thinks that he's the be-all and end-all of the universe, and the sun rises and sets in his ass. And the other one, I didn't know, turned into a transgender because she damn sure got a hard-on for me. And I didn't know when and if she had to do it. But in the meantime, they're doing them to some righteous trolls.
I think I hear.
I hear you.
Oh, there's Gunn.
Maybe we'll bring him out of the woodwork.
Yeah, no good.
Shit.
Yeah, I see Be a Wise Ass Serpent in there.
Oh, he's something else, man. This guy really thinks he's a fount of all wisdom, and he literally condescends to everyone without his worldview. He's the one who's going to tell you what's wrong with your point of view and how you're being duped, and you don't know anything, and he will lead you into the light because of his greater wisdom. He's full of shit as a Christmas dupe, and he does it all the time.
Yeah. Well, I will say that Joe has a rather interesting cadre of trolls that show up at his show.
Yeah,
I will have to admit that.
He definitely does.
It's, it can be quite amusing at times,
Yeah.
I want to sell popcorn and cotton candy. Get your tater tot and sell tickets.
Yeah. Well, I have to apologize to Joe for bringing up the subject of the kitchen bitches. Because I was late getting here to this show. I was late getting to the Kitchen Bitches show, and I went there first just to hear what they were talking about. I wasn't going to call in or nothing, and they were bitching about somebody who had just called in, and they didn't like his voice, and and they were doing all the back burning talk about whoever it was. And when I came over here, I thought maybe Joe had simulcast into that show, and I didn't ask him. I didn't mean to go simulcast into that show or anything, but he took off with it, and it was kind of fun, Hey, listen, it got my blood pressure up.
Yeah, I bet.
Just like I was asking for you, Sarge, the other night. We were having one hell of a calm, collected conversation and everything, and I called for you to pop back in because my blood pressure was getting low.
I needed. You want that to continue? You definitely don't want me there because I ain't got no more patience for nonsense. None.
Well, no,
and if people can't hack it, then they don't need to be talking to me. It's just that simple.
Well, I wanted you just to come in just for that reason, so my blood pressure would go back up. With the controversy and yelling and the screaming and all of that stuff, because I wasn't used to it. I mean, it was a calm, collected conversation, and I kept looking around trying to say, Am I at the right fucking show or what? What?
Well, it says here they only got 56 seconds left in the live show.
Mm-hmm.
Come on, bud. Yeah, it's strange. What happened to Joe?
No idea.
Usually the host is the first one to get knocked off, or last one to get knocked off.
I got time to call back in about 90 seconds. 0. Oh, 2 hours. I'm still in the chat room.
Yeah.
he shows up.
Oh, I was going to ask you something, Sarge, about that pistol I got. Remember that one I told you that was that Egyptian pistol? Why does it have a hole in the hammer on the handle of the hammer? It's got a hole in it. Is that some specific way it was made, or?
Yeah, the reason they put the hole in the hammer is so you can put a lanyard through it and practice dry fire without having to. You can push the hammer away from you with the gun in it and fire, and then bring it back again, and then push it out from you, and it'll cock the hammer again. You can for a single action pistol.
No shit.
You can use it. You can use it that person. In some cases, they do it because they make different weight hammers depending upon what sort of primer strike they want, and they'll have a different diameter of hollowed out hammer.
Wow, I didn't know that. Interesting. Yeah. I was wondering why. Why would they put a fucking hole in the hammer like that? That's wow. Interesting.
You there, boy?
Yeah, I'm here.
Yeah. Hey, Be Wise the Serpent, that guy in the troll room, he put a saying.
Yeah.
He said that he said I would slap you if you referred to my sister as a bitch, and he said he would not do anything. I believe he was referring that to me. He was referring to me. So I just told him I'm gonna be in the Body Tech Fitness Gym in 1343 Business Center Drive in Conyers, Georgia, at 2:00 on Thursday. There's a boxing ring there. You can show up there and talk that shit to my face, and I'll pay for his goddamn ticket. He ain't got one, I'll pay for his ticket. If he shows up there, let's see how good he is and slap my face when I call his sister a bitch.
Oh, and he says, Georgia, oh shit, Atlanta scares
and he
the
says
shit
he don't
out
want
of
to
me.
come. He's declining my invitation. Hey, I mean it in a good spirit. I want to do it in the gym where we don't get arrested for having an affray, because you can't just challenge somebody to a fight on the street. The cops come along, you get arrested. But in the gym, it's okay. You put on headgear, you put on the gloves, and you go ahead and knock each other around a little bit. Now, if he wants to do that, he can meet me there. It's only 2-3 minute rounds. I ain't gonna need 2 rounds to knock his ass out. I can guarantee you that. Maybe about half of one. I ain't as good as I used to be because I'm a little bit older now.
Yeah. Well, before that, he put in there. I put my size 15 up your tight ass.
Okay,
you know?
Good. That's what I like. I like a man who's confident. I like a confident man. Let him come on in and let him take his best shot.
And I
remember I just got locked up. Hey, boy, I just got locked up not too long ago for beating a motherfucker's ass in a restaurant. And I was defending myself, and I had to spend almost $4,000 to go to pretrial motions to get the charges dismissed when they charged me with aggravated battery for beating this motherfucker half to death. I don't want that shit to happen again. So this time I'll meet the motherfucker in the ring, and we can see if he can slap me and put his foot up my ass. Let's just see.
Yeah.
And I'll send him I'll send him money for the ticket. I think it'd be a good expenditure. It'd be kind of satisfying to knock the shit out of a motherfucker who talks his ass off, talks out his ass, and can't cash no checks with it.
Yep.
I'm all in for that.
Yeah. Well, I told him, you know, when he said he'd put his size 15 up my ass, I told him, said you'll never go back to women. You'll never go back to women.
You got a long way to go from Alaska though, but you can join us.
Yeah. Well, I told him he'd never go back to women.
Like I said, man, I don't want you to get in trouble though. Don't do it in the street because you get in trouble there. But you go to a ring where it's licensed, and you know they let you go put on the headgear and go spar, and they got referees there to watch, make sure nobody gets killed or anything. And that's the way you do it. Because like I said, you don't want to be going through the shit I had to go through and spend over $4,000 to get out some charges you shouldn't have been charged with in the first place.
Yep. Well, you know, it's like this, Sarge. I'm at the age where I'm too slow to run and too old to take a ass whooping, so I'm just going to shoot your fucking ass.
Well, that sounds like a plan. But I don't really think it's necessary, though, because, you know, I may be older, but I ain't decrepit yet. And let this motherfucker come on up there and let's see what he got.
Yep.
I mean, he might be a Jake Paul or whatever, but, you know, Mike Tyson still got a few tricks up his sleeve.
Yeah, I hear you. You know, there's always the ear.
But
the
hey,
ear
you know,
nibble.
but I'm not the one who issued the challenge for the slap. You know, I don't take kindly to challenges that somebody ain't willing to back up. So if he's willing to back it up, let me know where I can send you the money, my man. And you come on down here. I ain't going to you. I definitely ain't leaving to go to your ass. You're the one who made the challenge. So you come your ass down here and you back it up.
Yeah, well, I hear you.
That's what a man will do.
Yeah. See if he can cash that check.
I don't think he's serious though. You know, he just like to say things for effect. That's what most leftists do. They don't mean much of what they say.
Yeah. Says I would look quite silly kicking an old man in his dumb ass. Watch your mouth.
You'd look even silly when an old man beats the goddamn yellow runny dog shit out of you, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
So I ain't got nothing to lose. If I lose, I can say, hell, I'm an old man. But if you get your ass kicked, what the fuck you gonna say,
here's the thing. He ain't got nothing he can win. You know,
right.
When it gets to that.
I mean, hey, I'm gonna get props for standing up for your challenge. But you, when you get your ass kicked and you lying on the floor with blood running out of your mouth, what the fuck are you gonna say?
Yep.
Been there, done that, my man. I may be older, but believe me, I've been in more fights than you can imagine. Much more. And I can know the game. Experience counts, sir.
Yeah. Well, he ain't got nothing to win because one of the two things is going to happen. Either he's going to get harassed for beating the shit out of an old man, or he's going to be really harassed when the old man beats the shit out of him.
It's a job, yeah.
He just not going to be able to win.
I mean, I may not be able to go like 10 rounds like I used to be able to go. But I go a damn good 3. And I'm going to dispose of them before them 3 rounds is over. I guarantee you.
Yeah.
I don't think he's ever been in a real fight.
Maybe not.
I don't think so.
I know this.
Because people who've been in fights don't issue idle challenges. They just don't. People who've had many fights, they don't issue idle challenges. That's the one experience I've had that I know to be true. If they're going to come at you, they start coming at you. And they make arrangements to do it.
Yep. Well, fortunately for me, Sarge, I've never had to do that.
Why? Well, you got yourself lucky. I mean, it is a crapshoot every time you go out there to do it. But, you know, you got confidence in yourself and you have some reasonable skills. You got a pretty good chance of prevailing. I ain't lost a fight yet since last time I lost a fight was 1969.
Yeah.
And I was in the ring against Tony Gates. I'll never forget it. Tony Gates was the it was an AAU fight, and they had a prison. He was from the prison at what the fuck is that in Georgia? Damn it, Tony Gates. That motherfucker beat me from one end of the ring to the other, man. I beat him on points, but he really beat my ass. I mean, I was peeing blood for 2 days. That was the last time I think I really lost the fight.
You won the fight, but you lost.
I won the fight, but I lost. That was the worst ass beating I ever took.
Yep. You know, one of those.
But I ain't lost a fight since then. I'm taking that right now. So, you know, I'm going to see if I can keep my record. And I'll tell you what, if I lose this punk, I will hang up the gloves for good.
Yeah.
For sure.
Well, you know, it depends on what this guy is, you know.
Well, he's out there.
If he's,
all you got to do is show up on Thursday, 2 o'clock. I'll be there.
Yeah.
I'll be there whether he shows up or not, because I go to the gym. I go to that gym regularly anyway, once every 2 weeks. They do sparring there, and I go there to spar. I want to keep my hand in.
Yeah.
So, you know, if he wants to show up there, he's welcome to. And that's every Thursday practically. I mean, with some exceptions. On Thursday, all you got to do is show up there whenever you're ready. If you can't make it this week, you come maybe next week. But just make sure I'm going to be there.
Yep. Let me know you're coming, and I will be there.
Yeah, you can be my second or something. Or then you can be the second to kick his ass after I beat the shit out of him.
Yep. Oh, God. Where can you have this much fucking fun and not pay for it?
I don't ever recall saying I wanted to slap him for any reason. He pisses me off all the time, but I ain't never got to the point where saying, hey, I'm ready to slap you if you so and so and so. So I ain't never gone there. I don't know what's with him going there with some shit like that. Maybe he thinks he was talking to somebody else.
Yeah, maybe.
Could be. There are a lot of delusional people in this world. They think they can be a woman just by saying so.
Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah, well, you know. Such is life. Where is everybody? They just vanished?
I don't know.
It's not even 12 o'clock.
It sure seems that way. Unless somehow we got cut off on our line.
I don't know.
Let's see. Well, I'm hearing something else in the background.
Mm-hmm.
Probably hear my fan.
Man, what do you think about Lindsey Graham letting the cat out the bag the way he did, man? And that's something they're keeping Ukraine going so they can exploit it and use it as a money laundering center.
Yeah, well, it's like this. He really didn't let nothing out. Nothing out of the bag. He really didn't.
He said it out loud. He's a senator. You can pay attention when a senator says something, even if it's stupid. I don't think he was supposed to say that, was he? I mean, I suppose the insiders already know what the game is. There was no reason for him to alarm the hoi polloi.
Yeah.
Huh. Well, I find it very interesting. It's very interesting.
I know that there's another reason why Russia would like to have Ukraine, and that's for a pipeline.
Well, Russia would like to have Ukraine mainly because I do believe that what they said is their reason is their reason. There's a lot of Russian ethnics there who are getting bullied, and they want to do something about it. And they also want a piece of what Ukraine's got, too.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it shouldn't be that surprising. I mean, Putin ain't exactly the nicest guy on the planet.
No.
So he's got two good reasons for going in there, as far as he's concerned.
Well, here's something, Sarge, that you may agree or may not agree with me on. But over the years, especially during the Trump period, we always talking about the white hats and the black hats, in the world and stuff. And I don't know, but for some goddamn reason, I have a feeling that even with our differences with Putin and everything like that, I got a feeling that Putin is a white hat. Especially when it comes to this New World Order shit.
Yeah,
I really
I
believe
get where you're coming from. Sometimes I get those feelings about him, but I do believe that more so than being a white hat, he's a ruthless despot who wants to recreate the Russian Empire. That doesn't mean he's wrong in everything, because he's not. Some of the things he says are correct and true.
Well, one of mine and Kat's and Gunn's friends is a Greek. He's got pretty close ties and stuff over still to Greece. He was born here in the U.S. and everything, and has some really good Greek ties and likes the Greek traditions and everything. And he says that there is a monastery of, I don't know if it's Russian Orthodox or what, but it's an Orthodox Christian church. And Putin shows up there on a pretty regular basis and actually leaves large donations for the monks and stuff there in the monastery and stuff. And he goes there and stays there for extended periods of time, like, he's on vacation or something. He's just wanting to get away from everything. And, I can't verify the truth in that or not, but, Kat can hear us.
Well, you know what, though?
And Putin
he's really got a fascinating background, man. If you like the espionage spy shit, this guy isn't seeing a lot of shit, man. He's the real deal when it comes to that skullduggery crap.
Well, yeah, I know. And I'm not going to say say he's not. But it was like Kat was just putting in the chat room. She must be hearing us. I don't know what happened to Joe, so I guess this show is still going on. But it's the three of us, you, me, and Gunn. But she said in there that yes, Putin is very religious. So she heard me.
Yeah, he's not like Zelensky. He's not gonna attack the Coptic Church like Zelensky's doing over there in Ukraine. And he was elected, they say, in a landslide. I don't know about the legitimacy of Russian elections. I haven't looked into it in any kind of depth. But Zelensky is established himself right now as a dictator, for an interim dictator, until the martial law situation is resolved, which will probably be never until Russia conquers Ukraine. Yes. So there's that.
Well, Zelensky. Zelensky is. I like to think of him as the Maytag man. Somebody got to keep that washing machine running over there. Make sure all that money gets spun out in the right directions.
The Ukrainian people I'm talking about, all they talk about is the corruption in their country and how bad. They literally are saying they are slaves. They are saying all of their rights are being abrogated because they've now declared martial law. And Zelensky is literally a dictator. They're living under a state of martial law. All the civil liberties are suspended. And they're press ganging people off the street. Not like when our people get drafted, they get to put in a hearing request before they get drafted. They just take them right off the street and press gang them into the army. You send them up for 3-4 weeks of basic training and off to the front. And all these foreign legionnaires coming back from the fighting over there saying 20 years in the war on terror and they ain't never seen no combat like this.
Yeah.
There's nothing that compares to it in all their experience in 3 different lands. They ain't never seen no combat like this. They say it is like night and day, unremitting artillery. Night and day.
Yeah.
Waves of tank assault. Drones everywhere. And everyone talking about the casualties.
Cat's got us right now.
Like I said, that woman is transgender. She done figured out a way to get a hard on for me like I never have seen in my life. I mean, she's utterly obsessed with me. I've never seen anything like it. I don't even say anything about her. I mean, I try to put her on ignore, and she just won't have it. She's like, hell with all the fury of a woman scorned. It is unfunny.
Well, you gotta remember this, okay? Cat likes to troll.
Well, definitely.
And she wouldn't be like this. I mean, Cat and I would have some hot, going outs and shit, arguments and stuff like that. She'd be pissed off at me for months, And when I was down in Texas, when I was down there in Texas last year, she invited me over to her place. We went over to her place, and boy, we had one hell of a nice afternoon. We did.
Well, look, boy, let me just give you the genesis of this so you understand, okay? One night we were on the same show, Joe's show, and Joe had played an audio of Adolf Hitler saying some things. And he said some things that could be construed as favorable to Adolf Hitler. And then they got into an argument, and she called Joe a threat to the Republic. And, now I have defended Kat on many occasions when people made spurious accusations against her being a racist. I have defended her over and over and over and over again. I said, that's not true. This is why it's not true. So all I asked her to do was to tell me why she believed Joe Gibson was a racist. She gave me 3 reasons. She said that, 1, he played something that could be considered favorable to Adolf Hitler. She said that he heard him call somebody kike one time, and I forget what the third reason was, but it wasn't that bad. And I said, well, if that's the complaints against him, you don't have much reason to call him a threat to the Republic. And then she accused me of disloyalty and being a bad friend. And she's had it for me in for me ever since. I don't get it, but she's entitled to it if that's what she wants to be. All I can say is, when she was being accused what I felt was a spurious accusation of racism, I defended her vigorously. And I felt she was making an unfair accusation against Joe. I did the same thing. I got principle.
Yeah, well, stand by your principles. That's.
I mean, this is place on TRS.
She makes.
This place. They call it TRS, and the people there just hate Cat. Oh, they hate. They talk about her like the dirty dog and everything else. I tell them, look, you are wrong to say what you're saying about it. Whatever else she may or may not be, she's definitely not a racist. And I told them why. And I caught all kind of grief for it from them. And I didn't mind, because I'm going to stick up for what I think is right and when I think somebody's being unfairly maligned. I thought she was being unfair with Joe. She didn't give me a very good reason why she thought Joe was a threat to the Republic, other than those three things. And I asked her, is that all? Do you have anything else? She didn't say anything else. What am I supposed to do? Say, yeah, you're right? No. Ever since that's just an unforgivable offense. So I don't understand it myself, but she's welcome to it. She can do whatever she wants. That's her business. If that's what she wants to believe, be my guest. I don't have to share that with myself, and I don't.
Well, it's like this. I love me cat.
And she put the chat room. She said, wait a minute. She just said she doesn't fucking need my protection. I'm not intending to give her any protection. I'm going to give my opinion when I have an opportunity to express it. I don't believe she was a racist, and I will tell the people in TRS that they were calling her a racist all the time. I'll tell them the same thing. Whether she thinks she needs my protection or not, whenever I hear that opinion voiced, it has nothing to do with whether or not she thinks I'm offering her protection. I am not. I'm simply responding to the opinion of others, as I do with almost everything I hear on Blog Talk. I respond to what I hear others say. That's what I do. I don't need them to agree with me. I don't need to agree with them. When I hear them say something, I respond to it. And they can lump it or leave it. They can agree with me or not, and it's all just fine with me. Doesn't make me any different. I'm going to continue to do it, and that's the way I roll. And nobody has to like it, and nobody has to dislike it.
Yeah.
And now she's threatening me again. She's going to be sorry I ran my mouth tonight. I didn't lie about anything I just said. I didn't even criticize her. I just gave an honest assessment of why she's got such a hard-on for me. Why every couple of minutes she's making some crack about me. I didn't make a threat to her. I didn't reveal anything bad. It's a matter of record. It's right down on record what she said about Joe Gibson. She said he was a threat to the Republic. And I asked her to tell me, why is he a threat to the Republic? And she gave me 3 reasons. And I said those reasons seem to be insufficient to designate him a threat to the Republic. She ain't forgiven me for that ever since.
Well, it's kind of like this. There's a lot of what Joe says and stuff that I think is wrong. I don't think, like the other night, oh God, whenever we had those guys on, about restoring the Republic stuff and their plan and stuff. And, I just can't get behind it. And, and it irritates me no end when Joe kind of brings it up and stuff, and I just shut my mouth. I just don't want to get into it with him. I consider Joe a friend. I mean, and we've locked horns quite a few times, but I consider Joe a friend,
He'll tell you how many times me and him done locked horns on things we don't agree about. we disagree. Not quite as often as we agree, but we regularly disagree about a whole lot of things.
Yep.
And I particularly tell him, I don't particularly agree with his take on Judaism and Jews and the responsibility for some of the ills in the world. Although he's not as bad at with that as some people here. Some people just attribute them to being the minions of Satan. But I definitely don't agree with any of that.
Yeah. Well, my take for it is that we all have our own opinions. Okay, I may not like everybody's opinion. I don't like everybody's opinion. I surely don't. And I will try and persuade them over to my side. But if I can't persuade them over to my side, well, they at least have a belief in something, and they're sticking to it. And that, is an admirable trait. Just like those kitchen bitches, they are hard. They are hard.
Why the serpent might decide to start slapping you if you start saying the words like that, He might come out of the closet and say he's going to slap you.
Yeah, well, they are hard and stand firm on their beliefs. I gotta give them credit for that, even though we all think that they're fucking loonies, But what the hell, That's just the way. That's the way it is. It's just, and the discussions over ideas and stuff like that. All throughout history, discussions over philosophy and whatnot and stuff have always had the tendency to get ugly, and that's just the way it is. I've found through my life, and there are times when I just have to say, fuck it, walk away. I don't need the bullshit in my life anymore. And that's just the way I kind of roll, Do what you want to do, how you want to do it. Just don't fuck with me and my beliefs and stuff, and have fun. Just don't hurt anybody else on the way out the door.
That's generally that's a good way to look at things, but we got a lot of busybodies these days. They want to tell you how to think, how you're supposed to think. They demand conformity and orthodoxy, and dare you deviate from it, you will incur their wrath. They'll be on you like stank on shit. They cannot abide the idea that you might not agree with them lock, stock, and barrel. That's just the world we live in now. We got a lot of people out there who insist on arranging your thoughts for you and allow you to have independent ones, whether you're right or wrong.
Yep. Well, it's kind of like from where I live, my nearest family is about 4,000 miles away, in Ohio. And I have really appreciated that fact, due to the fact that throughout all my years up here, I have not had to put up or get involved in any of the family Peyton Place bullshit,
Yeah.
And so they wanna have a family argument, family feud and shit down there. Hey, knock yourself out. I'm up here, my door's open, but don't bring it with you. If you have to leave. Huh?
Talking about?
Is that Joe?
Yes, Joe. Where you been, man?
Yeah, what are you talking about? We have to leave. Who's got to leave?
Oh, no, I was talking about my family.
Oh.
if they had to leave, needed a place to come or stay, they could come 4,000 miles and I'll put them up, but I ain't going to put up with any of the family Peyton Place.
Oh, I know.
Bullshit.
Oh, I know.
So
I'm a loner. I got to be a loner. I can't.
But hey, listen. You have to answer this question. Both me and Sarge have been wondering, where in the fuck have you been?
I had to go take care of some
what you been doing?
Problems. Remember, I got a family too, and they drive me fucking nuts.
Okay, well, the thing was that, you were here, and kitchen politics went away. And we were sitting here, blah, 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 blah. And then all of a sudden, it's me, Sarge, and kind of Gun. And
where was
and that's it. Yeah, where the hell is everybody? I mean, if we got kicked off or anything,
Hang on, I'll check. I'll check. Hang on, I got to check the screen. I'll check. Man.
See if you can unmute Cat.
Yeah, hang on. Shit. I don't know what happened. Shit. Hang on. Damn, I don't even see the screen up anymore. Hang on. It'll be always on this window. Here we are. Hang on. Here it is. All right. Nobody's got their hand up. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 callers on here, but only 3 got their hands up. And that's you guys. Oh, there's another one. Here we go. There we go. Okay.
Assholes. That's all I gotta say. Just fucking assholes.
I wasn't here.
Yeah, I know.
Man, oh man, what a nightmare.
I found my way. Kitchen Politics loves me now. I called in and trashed all of you.
Did you call back in?
Yeah. I called in and trashed all of y'all, and they love me.
You've gone full score lib on us, haven't you?
Yeah.
You're real progressive now, aren't
you? I couldn't get a word in edgewise. I couldn't get a word in edgewise.
I really don't think you should speak to me right now, Sarge. Just pretend I'm not here. Talk
all
to
right,
the ball.
I think Kat has gone full-scale progressive. I'm not speaking to Kat. I'm speaking to you, Joe.
Anyway.
I couldn't get a word in edgewise.
Well, no, there was all that screaming and carrying on from some person.
I know.
And it was just screaming and carrying on. But I like that older lady that was telling you guys to get a vasectomy.
Because getting a vasectomy is just the same as getting an abortion. It's exactly the same. It's apples and apples.
Okay, all right. You were talking like for all day. I can talk 30 seconds and you've got to interrupt me, okay?
And I only spoke 6. I just got through speaking 6. And I'm going to say my allotment unless the host tells me to shut up, not you.
You are such an asshole.
Well,
it's unreal.
And you're a
what
bitch.
An asshole you be. See what
and
I
you're
mean?
A bitch.
Uh-oh. What happened here now?
Here we go.
I didn't start it. I just want you to know that I didn't start it.
Do you remember when I bailed you out of jail, Sarge? You remember that?
You didn't bail me out of jail. You're a goddamn liar.
Yes, I did.
My daughter bailed me out of jail.
I've got the receipt.
The money I asked you for wasn't to get out of jail, and I told everybody I went to jail. It's not a secret to anybody that I got jailed.
Yeah, but it was I was in the emergency room.
I think we all been in
at
jail
the
one more
hospital,
time.
and you needed the money.
Again, the money
right
you gave me was not for the bail for jail. You can believe whatever you want, but I'm telling you, it wasn't for the bail. It was something else. My daughter gave me the money to get out of jail.
Yeah, well, that's.
But you can't find yourself out of jail.
Look, I borrowed money from Kat, and I used it for another purpose. She's insisting it was to get me out of jail, and it wasn't. She is wrong. I could say she's lying, but I'm not as distortive as she is.
Well,
how much was the bond?
Listen, let me ask. Does it really matter? You got money from Kat.
It does.
Kat gave you some money.
Doesn't matter
to
me.
How much was the bond? It doesn't matter if it's a $20 bond. You're not allowed to bond yourself out.
Anyway, so I called in the kitchen.
You are. It depends on where you're at. You can bond yourself out. Depending, you can do it in Georgia if you got the means to prevent it.
Go ahead, Kat. Go ahead. You got it. Go ahead. We interrupt you. Go ahead.
They just love me over there. I'm sure I can call back in. But yeah, I thought that older lady that was telling y'all to get vasectomies, I love old women like that. That they're just really militant hardcore. Well, she had a point. If y'all really had listened to her, you just let her talk about it. I mean, talking about abortion and what what is life and what isn't life is two separate issues. That's all. Saying what abortion is and why you need abortion is two separate issues. So, as a woman, you're never going to solve this problem. A bunch of men calling in and talking to women and talking about abortion, you're not going to win that argument. You're not going to make it. You're not going to change their mind. And wait a second, they're not going to change your mind. So that's why nothing ever gets done. Personally, on a spiritual level, I don't like abortion, but I certainly don't want the government telling women they can't have abortions. I don't want there to be a federal law telling women they can't get abortions. You don't need to read a book. It's called Cider House Rules. It was written by John Updike, and it's great. It's horrible what went on in this country when women couldn't have abortions. You don't want to go back to that either. When I was in high school, we had a girl.
Well, we wouldn't.
His father was a doctor. He was a doctor, and she was too afraid to tell her father that she was pregnant, and so she and her friends tried this coat hanger abortion, and she bled to death. So there's horrors against, there's horrible stories in the history of this country, what women have gone through to get the right to abortion. So that's just my take on it. I'm not trying to argue with you to try to change your mind or anything. I'm just telling you that men are not going to be able to convince women that they should not be allowed to get abortions.
No, God will.
But that's between a woman and her doctor and between a woman and God. It's not between a woman and government.
If you believe, if you're a believer and you're trying to live like a Christ-like type of life, and you have to try to obey Scripture the best way you can. Scripture says the man does have a say so. The man is the head of the household in biblical perspective.
Oh, you better not say that, Joe.
But most people.
Well, that's what the Bible says.
But most people.
Who cares? Who cares?
I care. People do care. There are people who care. There are a lot of people.
But don't take it out of context. I'm not saying that the man gets to tell the woman everything what to do. No, they're equal partners. But the role of the head of the house is really the man. As far as he's obviously stronger. Yes, I know some women are stronger than men. Yes, I know. But you know what I mean. Common sense.
But most women who have abortions are not married.
Exactly.
But
so you're doing it. So you should not be having them anyway.
26 states of the Union have restrictions on abortion that are less than the original Roe versus Wade decision was. The other ones have more restrictions. So we're not getting rid of abortions in all of the states. There's no reason why Alabama has to have the same abortion laws as California, again, since it is a state matter. I mean, the people of Alabama make a decision through their legislatures. If they don't like it, they can get legislators out and get legislators in who will give them the abortion laws that they want because it's a state matter. I say let the states decide one way or the other.
There you go. Yeah. I agree with that in a way. And then God will deal with the states. God will, it will happen.
The states that want abortion can now have a less restrictive regime than the Roe versus Wade, because even Roe versus Wade had they can invoke restrictions after the first trimester. A lot of states have done away with that altogether. Now you can have an abortion at just about any stage of the pregnancy in some of these states.
Do you know every government in the history of the world that has gone against Israel has fallen apart and been destroyed from within or from outside forces? Every government that has ever gone against the country of Israel. If you look at history. I wonder why.
Well, Israel's only been a country since 48. 48.
Yeah, but they were a country before that, before 70 A.D.
That doesn't count. That doesn't
Sure
count. For present-day purposes, it doesn't count. It's a useful reference point, but it doesn't count for purposes of today.
The Roman Empire went against them, and look what happened to them. You know?
No, they lasted a long time, though. You got to admit, Joe. 1,500 years.
No,
Empire. That's not a bad run.
Yeah. Well, you thought of Britain, and the British Empire. Look what happened to them.
Well, Britain didn't really become an empire until Britain didn't become an empire until the 16th century. Or the 15th, maybe 16th century. It didn't start becoming an empire until then. Before that, it was just another nation among nations.
They were still
the Roman Empire and the Persian Empire. Now, those were long-lasting.
Yeah, what happened to them?
Well, 1,500 years,
empire.
Man, come on. The Eastern Empire didn't fall until Constantinople fell. That was 1,000 years. And the Western Roman Empire was 500.
America,
That's 1,500 years.
Sarge, the same thing will happen with America.
Yeah, but if we go, it'll be a lot quicker now, won't it? We ain't been around but a little bit over 250 years.
Don't know. It's all in God's hands.
Our decline is really kind of swift, all things considered, that we're the oldest constitutional republic, the original Constitution still in existence since 1787. Don't you think it's kind of alarming how fast it's going?
Yeah.
Well, the one thing is that republics will last a little bit, usually last longer, but democracies have really have a life expectancy of about 200 to 300 years, and then they disintegrate from within, just like what we're doing right now.
Boyd, you're right. The Roman Republic really only lasted about 350 years. Now that I think about it, it lasted longer, but it was a dictatorship.
We're not disintegrating. We're going through a real technological change. We're going into another age. Do you think people that lived in the beginnings of the Industrial Revolution understood what they were going through? They didn't understand it. That's something that history taught us. So when we look back at it, we're living in the math age.
No, we're in the church age. We're in the seventh age. We're in the Lacedaemonian church age right now. We're in the age of grace.
What age? What age you going?
The Lacedaemonian church age. We're in the age of grace. There are 7 churches. And God does everything in sevens. God does everything in sevens.
Well, what is that?
He creates everything in 3. Creation is 3. There were 7 churches. 7 churches, 7 dispensations.
Well, what exactly is that kind of a church?
We're in the age of grace right now. You had human government. You had, oh God, I don't have all the 7 churches in front of me, so I don't want to misquote them. But there's 7 churches, trust me.
Well, I wouldn't know.
I can get about reading them to you. I'm talking about physical churches. It's a church age.
Joe?
Yes.
You say there's 7 churches. Now, when you refer to wait a minute. When you refer to the 7 churches, you were referring to age as in periods, not in like religion churches that we have today.
Correct.
Is that what? Okay. All right. 7.
So you mean sort of like
distinct,
the Great Awakening?
7 dispensations. I'll read them off to you in a minute. Right now, I got something cooking on the stove.
Oh, I've heard of that. I've heard of that. I've heard of that. Okay.
7 ages. Okay, and we're in the age of grace. Okay.
Yes.
Okay, I get it. Okay, now I get
okay,
it.
I got you. I'm following.
Yeah, God is right now. God is dealing with the Gentile people. When He's done with us, He's going to go back to the Jew.
Okay, I think I understand.
Okay. Well.
So what is this? So what does this portend then, Joe? What does this all portend then? If you can explain.
I didn't hear you, Sarge.
I say, what does all this portend? Can you explain it to me?
Well, we're coming up upon to the rapture, the end, tribulation.
You mean people are going to be taken away and others are going to be left behind?
Yeah. If you don't believe in Jesus Christ, you'll be left behind.
Well,
you didn't accept Him as your Lord and Savior.
I think I'm going to be left behind then.
Yeah, you don't get to heaven by doing good deeds.
Well, I'm working on it, though. I'm hoping I can get back to it. I really am. Because, I mean, I don't want to be like these people in the cult of death, like them people on that show. They epitomize the cult of death. They literally were calling for the death of human beings. Now, I know they were being silly, but still, universal vasectomy would mean the death of humanity. These people are in the cult of death in order to be right.
That's not what they said.
That is exactly what she said. Tell me what she really meant by it then.
That's not what they meant at all.
That's what they meant.
Exaggerating.
All right, well, tell me what they meant, because I heard what she said.
Yeah, but you infer a lot in what people say, and you take it to an extreme situation to fit your agenda, and you don't realize it.
All men should get vasectomies or somehow misinterpreting things? I don't think so.
Sarge, you don't understand.
What did she mean?
Yeah, just explain to me what she meant then.
She meant men should take responsibility for women taken pregnant. If they don't want to have children, they should get vasectomies, is what she said. That's what she meant. Now, because Sarge came across yelling and screaming at her, she got more strident also. So it was like became irrational, what you were both doing. But she stopped.
I wasn't irrational. I was yelling, but I wasn't irrational. She was.
That makes you seem real irrational when you do that. You don't realize.
Well, that's a characterization. I was asking a rational question. She was screaming irrationality.
Okay, so then when you came back and y'all got off the phone with them, then you lower your voice and you don't scream at Boyd. You're not screaming.
No need to. I'm not getting interrupted in the middle of my point.
All you do is interrupt.
She continually did it.
Okay, like you're interrupting me.
Go back and listen to it.
Raising your voice at me.
Again, she continually interrupted me in the middle of my point when she could not bear the thought of me expressing it. That was it. Go back and listen.
There was one woman on there. She had a very small voice like me, and she was trying to talk, and you kept screaming over her. She could barely get her thoughts out. You're just not respectful of women.
It was not a one-sided thing. I will not take complete responsibility for that. Only for what I did. They won't take responsibility for what they did.
You never take responsibility.
No, I'll take responsibility for things I do that are wrong. And I was wrong to yell, but I was not the only one doing it, and they did it continuously.
You have never apologized to me. Wait a minute. You have never, ever apologized to me for screaming. When we used to do a show together,
no, that's not true.
I used to get off the phone.
I have.
In my head,
maybe not enough, but I have.
In my head,
I know that's not
so
true.
bad. And I would talk
I know
to
that's
Jermaine,
not true.
I would tell Jermaine, I can't do this anymore. He yells way too much. And I told you repeatedly when we did a show together, Sarge, please don't be yelling. And you told me
you just used the word never. Is that a word that is literally true, or did you mean something else? Because you used the word never.
See what I mean? And so
that's what I mean. See, I can't get an answer. What can I say?
You were. When I talk, you talk. I just hear a noise coming out of you. I don't hear what you're saying because you're just talking when I'm talking. I can't talk.
You use the word I never apologize. I know that is not true. So now I'm asking you if you meant something else, and I'm just looking for an answer.
You've never apologized to me for screaming.
Well, that's not true. That's simply not true. That is not true.
The problem, you said the problem is with my hearing. That's what you said.
Well, you just said something that wasn't true, and I reject it completely. That's not true. I have apologized. Perhaps not enough, but I have.
That's what you always do.
Okay. Well, let's move on. We're not going to have agreement on that. Let's just move on. We will have no agreement on that. I know better. You say you know better. We can't agree. Let's just move on.
That's the way you are. I don't want agreement. I don't even want an apology. I'm just telling you you're
I'm not giving you an apology anymore than the ones I've given. You have my apology. If I feel the need to apologize for another intemperate statement, then I will do so. At this point, I do not feel the need for such an apology.
You are an asshole, Sarge. That's what you've turned
into.
A big asshole.
And you're a bitch.
A big asshole.
So I'll be an asshole and you be the bitch.
Oh, I would love for my husband to hear you say that.
Well, don't call me an asshole.
No.
You can let him hear anything you want, because I'll tell him to.
Time.
And he can meet me in the gym down here if he wants to.
Time out. Listen, I think we got a good basis for a new BTR show. The Asshole and the Bitch.
I don't appreciate that voice.
How about
this? Why'd you have to say that in the middle of me swallowing some ginger ale? God damn it!
You know what, Boyd? I'm gonna tell you something now, Boyd. I expect behavior like that from Sarge because he's low class, but not from you.
Kat, I am trying to put some humor in there, and yes, I am a bastard. When it comes to things like that, and that's me. I mean, it was you guys were getting into it. You guys were calling each other assholes and bitches.
I didn't call her an asshole.
All I could say, wait a minute, Sarge. And the only thing that popped into my head during this whole thing between you two was, this would be a good show, assholes and bitches, and that would be it. Because then we can all of us could sit back and listen to you two scream over each other.
Actually, I thought that was kind of funny, Boyd. I really did. I swallowed some ginger ale down the wrong windpipe and said it. I did think it was funny. She's ready to turn on you for saying it, though.
Well, that's her. Listen, that's okay. I mean, that's okay for her to be mad at me for saying something like that, or upset, or think that I'm wrong. That's all right. I mean, I don't care. I mean, that's fine. I mean, I didn't mean it. I didn't mean it in a derogatory way.
I didn't think
Kat
you did either.
Upset.
I thought it was funny. I didn't get mad at you. I thought it was amusing. I just wish you hadn't said it when I was swallowing the ginger ale.
Why don't we call it the Two Assholes Show?
That would be rather egalitarian if we did. Yeah.
Two Asshole Show? How about Ass times two?
Ass on each other or something? Because this is some y'all two when y'all talk with each other, y'all sound like you're laying on pillows next to each other talking. People were commenting on it in the chat room.
Pillow talk. Yes.
No, that's you as wise as serpents. Now, come on, you two are ganging up on us, and you know it. Stop it. Not a universal sentiment.
That's all right.
I thought it was Naj.
So, who?
No, it's wise as serpents. So I know that guy. He's been around for a while. I done gone toe to him a bunch of times. He's a smug bastard.
Oh, and you're not?
No, I'm not. I rarely concede what I don't know. But the things I know, I'm confident in, and that's what you don't like probably. But there's many things I don't know, and I'm trying to learn more, which is why just moments ago I was asking Joe to explain what he said, because I didn't know what he was talking about. But when I know something, I know it. And I don't mind telling people that I know it.
You are a narcissist, Sarge, to them.
And you're full of shit. And you're too goddamn sensitive.
Oh.
And I never see anybody say, you must be the princess of the pea, man. You be sleeping on 50 mattresses with pea underneath and you can feel it. I ain't never seen anybody as sensitive and prickly as you are. I mean, you get a red hair up your ass if you even perceive an offense. You get the thinnest skin out there. It's like paper.
You hurt my feelings.
See, this is what I mean. See what I mean? Whatever. Wow. We got a rough one tonight, man. We had a rough one tonight.
Anyway, yeah, it was a hell of a run tonight. I'll say that. You know, you guys, I will have to say that at least I didn't have to call Sarge to come in and start yelling and screaming to bring my blood pressure back up. You know,
let me tell you, boys, I had a discussion today about reparations with a bunch of ardent, race identity obsessed black leftists, and the conversation was completely simple. Completely simple.
I didn't get
you got to
no
go back
idea.
and hear the show we did today. I swear, you got to hear it. I mean, they entertained my opinions. I entertained theirs. There was no incivility whatsoever. We were vigorously contesting the other's ideas. And at the end of the day, they had so much respect for what I had to say, they invited me into a group conference, both opposed and against reparations. And I didn't agree with them about a damn thing. But the conversation was civil. Nobody called anybody a name. And they're a bunch of leftist, race-obsessed identity, black leftist reparationists. So I know I can have a civil conversation with people. I do. But when they act like them numbskulls in that kitchen progressive place, just completely irrational and lunatically insane, I'm sorry. I don't have patience for it. I don't, and I never will.
Well, I have a question, Sarge. If you know there are lunatics and insane, which you knew before you called in there, why do you call in there?
I didn't call in there. Joe did. I happened to join in along with him because I like Joe. And
I know.
I didn't
you
call
knew
in.
they were calling in, but you had called in earlier. But you had been kicked out of there. So you knew they were lunatics, so you spoke up and talked. So you knew you were going to get this pushback.
Well, no, I decided to go along and see what happens. I don't care if they would have kicked me out again. It didn't bother me a bit. I don't need them.
But you enjoyed it.
I don't need it for anything. I'm still going to make my observation that they're a bunch of identity-obsessed lunatics, whether they kick me out or not.
You're an identity-obsessed lunatic.
See, here we go again. See what you just did?
But you are.
I mean, you are as bad as any leftist out there. You are becoming a progressive. Kat is becoming a progressive. She sounds just like them these days.
Listen, I can explain it to you.
And now, when I said they were identity-obsessed lunatics, she said, "Oh, you're an identity-obsessed lunatic."
You
know
are.
what I mean? This is silly. That is an example of silliness.
No, you are. You are
totally
obsessed with this identity of being this radical, right-wing, know-it-all.
Oh, please.
You know.
Oh, please. That is a characterization of you. That is your opinion of me. That doesn't make it so.
That's all you talk about.
No, ma'am. That's not all I talk about. That's all you hear.
You talk about
because that's what you choose to focus on. No, that's what you choose to focus on. And you have decided because all of a sudden you got a wild hair up your ass about me that you're going to focus on that and distort it beyond all human recognition. And that's what you're doing now.
It. This is exactly
yes, you
what
are.
you do.
Yes, you are. I will give you an example. Okay, give me an example of me like you did with Joe Gibson. You said Joe Gibson was a racist because he called somebody a kite once. He played a tape that somebody might say is somewhat favorable to Adolf Hitler. And I forget what the third one was. There was some other inconsequential thing. And that made him a threat to the Republic. That is what I call distorting beyond all possible recognition.
You know, Sarge, you know.
See, now you're not going to answer it. Now, you know what I just said is true, and you're not going to respond to it. You're going to now call me a name or something. That's what I mean about you. You're just like a progressive these days.
How? You didn't even let me talk. You just keep running your mouth. The reason I got upset with you that night wasn't it had anything to do with what we were discussing. What I got upset with you about was the way you treated me and the tone of your voice and the hatefulness that you used toward me.
See what I mean about sensitivity?
No, let me finish.
You like the princess and the pea. I swear to God. I swear to God. I don't know what to do with you if it's that easy to offend you.
Okay.
I'm going to keep on offending you then because I ain't changing.
Let me finish. because you decided that night that I was as bad as Miss Lady is on TRS, and I never.
Well, I didn't say that. Where did you use that?
And I never heard you use that ugly tone towards me.
Wait a minute. Okay, so now you're imputing something from my tone of voice. You are overly sensitive. I'm sorry. It's just true. It's just true.
Okay.
You are just too damn sensitive. You got to check yourself or you wreck yourself. That's not a good thing to be. This world is pretty mean out here. You need to get tougher.
Sarge.
Wreck yourself before you wreck yourself.
I do not allow anybody to abuse me, and you abused me that night.
See what I mean? Joe, you were on that conversation. What the was anything I said in your defense? Honestly, objective analysis. And if you don't agree with me, tell me so. Was anything I said, because you heard it, you were there, we were discussing you, was anything I said that could be considered as condescending in response to her when I asked her to explain her very own premises?
You're talking about the night that we
No,
got
I'm
into
asking
about
Joe. I
race.
want to hear Joe's answer, because maybe there was, and maybe I missed it. Tell me, Joe, what was it?
I don't remember anything that was, actually.
There wasn't, Joe.
I was too angry
it's
at the
in her
time.
imagination.
Sarge.
All I know is I was arguing with her.
Joe, there wasn't any,
in the
Joe. It was
past.
all in her imagination. She's got an exaggerated sense of offense. Trust me on this. It's easy to do. I've done it many times. And
I think it was over the Jew, the
to.
angry Jew. I think it was over the angry Jew, Sarge. That's what it was over.
No,
yes, about the remark you made about the angry Jews. That was one of the things she was complaining about, you being a threat to the Republic. Because I asked her, I said, give me as many as you perceive about you.
It had nothing
She gave me
to do
3.
with the Sarge, listen, it had nothing to do with the content about what we were speaking. It had to do with your tone and your hatefulness and your abuse of your words toward me that upset me.
Okay.
Period.
Okay, Joe, that's why I am asking an observer who may not be neutral, but certainly heard the conversation. That's why I asked him what he could have possibly imputed from any tone in my voice that could be considered an abuse of tact. Joe, would you please tell me if you honestly perceive such?
I did not. I mean, you're talking about tonight or that night?
No, that night that she accused you of being a threat to the Republic.
Oh, she didn't say I was a threat to the Republic.
Yeah, I know. Did you perceive anything in my questioning of her that could possibly be construed as an abusive tone?
Yes.
I'm asking Joe.
Sorry, to be honest with you, I don't remember the whole conversation. I don't think so,
I was the recipient, sorry.
Well, what I'd like you to do is find the tape. I'd like you to play it back, and if you see that, then I'll commit error. I'll tell you what. I will make a commitment right now to commit seppuku if you can hear anything I said on that tape that could be construed in that manner.
Sorry.
I don't think you said anything.
And play it back.
I don't know.
Get it and play it back.
Sorry.
I'll get the date for you.
I don't think you said anything. I don't think you said
I know
anything,
I
but it wasn't
didn't.
my
That's
show.
what I'm saying. And I want to get the tape
It wasn't
to
my
prove
show.
Sarge,
It was Donnie's
the
show.
way you talked to me that night was the same way you talked to Miss Lady. And you and I have had discussions about what a horrible person she is. So why did you turn
that
on
night
me
now?
that night? I want to know.
Again, I do not agree with your assessment. I think you are wrong, and I think you are either hallucinating or you are making it up. That's why I want to have the tape played so we can all judge for ourselves.
So when I told you to take your microphone and stick it up your ass, why do you think I said that?
Because you're hallucinatory.
Did you say that?
You're having delusions. And if you think that's condescending, then be my guest.
I don't remember you saying that.
You really
Did you say
are.
that?
I know. Look, Joe, that's why I want. Look, we should settle this. If you as a favor to me, if you can find that tape, bring it back and play it again, and we will let people judge for themselves. If you care.
Sarge, it was Donnie's show. It was Donnie's show.
Okay, well, I need to get it from him now. I'm going to find it. I'm going to archives and see if I can't get it.
Sorry.
Because I'm going to settle this.
I'm pretty sure it was a Saturday night.
Well, I'm going to settle this. because I know I was not abusive. I will commit seppuku if that is a reasonable interpretation of anything about the tone of my voice.
Sarge, I know you were yelling over her. I know that, but because that was the big how it started. I know that because you were trying to make a point, and she was trying to interrupt.
If I was, is it? How can that be condescending if I'm
I don't remember being condescending.
It wasn't.
Sarge.
I guarantee you it wasn't.
Sarge.
Unless you got a new definition for the word.
I think he's right.
Unless you have a new definition for the word, it wasn't.
So Sarge, since I feel this way, that you really hurt my feelings and it distorted all the...
I think she was upset at you, Sarge. I think she was upset.
Yeah.
I think
she
was genuinely upset.
I'll agree with that. I'm not arguing that in the slightest.
Okay.
She definitely was.
So you should have apologized. If you
I shouldn't have. I don't have to apologize for things I do not do deliberately. I will offer this, though. I regret that you felt that way, but I did not do anything to warrant that as a justification. I do not think I did, and I will not take responsibility for such a thing. Period.
I know that.
But I do regret it that you had that perception.
I know you don't take responsibility for anything.
No, I don't take responsibility for that. No, I don't take No, you're right. I do not take responsibility for that, and you can't browbeat me into doing so.
See, y'all, this is kind of friend he is. He'll turn on you.
See what I mean?
You don't agree with him.
Like Princess and the Bee.
You don't agree
Princess
with him.
and the Bee here.
Yeah. This is Sarge.
I don't know, Kat, I don't know now. Me and Sarge have had some pretty brutal arguments, and we never